These are troubled times for the New York Rangers. Their road trip ended with a one-sided loss in Pittsburgh and a defeat at the hands of the expansion Florida Panthers and former Ranger John Van Beesbrook. Not only did the Rangers lose on the ice, they lost off the ice as well. Mike Hudson, who slashed Pittsburgh Shell Samuelson in the head Saturday, has been hit with a lengthy suspension, and the Rangers' center position has been weakened further with the loss of Sergei Nemchinov. His smash to Brian Benning's head has resulted in a stern banishment. He won't be back until early April. The Rangers' search for help has brought U.S. Olympian Todd Marchand to New York. Injuries, suspensions, and scoring slumps have the Rangers worried as they move into the final month of the season. Mike Keenan must rally his team when they face the Whalers tonight. The Rangers are back home to take on the Hartford Whalers live at Madison Square Garden. It's New York Rangers hockey. Hello, everyone, and welcome to New York Rangers hockey. Sam Rosen along with John Davidson. Al Troutwig with us tonight. You look good. The only thing missing are your sunglasses.
I'd like to see how your rash is doing, not where your rash is. How is your rash from your side?
A lot of cream on my rash right now. As far as the Rangers are concerned, as you notice right at the top, there's a somber mood. There are injuries, there are suspensions. This is a tough time for the Rangers.
It's a tough time, Sam, but you have to face adversity through various portions of the season. We all know now that Mike Hudson's been given 10 games, Sergei Nemchinov 8 games for their stick-swinging incidents during the road trip. You're not going to hear either player complain about the length of the suspension, nor you're not going to hear the Rangers complain. And I don't think that anybody should complain. The players use their sticks. They're both good quality people that got caught up at the time with the incidents. But they're responsible for what they did. They now are going to pay their debt to the National Hockey League for what they did. The league has to be firm because we're seeing a lot of it, and that's the only way it's going to be stopped is by being severe with the suspension. Both these players are big men. They have to accept what's been dealt them.
Two centermen out of the lineup means lineup changes for Mike Keenan. This is what his lineup will look like tonight. Esa Tikkanen goes back to center, and Alexei Kovalov extended time at the center position.
What I think is interesting is Kovalov will be the centerman for Mike Gartner. That's the way they practiced this morning here in the Garden. That's the way they took warm-up prior to tonight's game. And Mike Gartner has played so much for such a long time with Nemchinov as his centerman, so it should be interesting to see how he reacts.
And the center position has been a sore spot of late, John. Lack of point production.
Yeah, we're looking at that, and I think everyone knows that. This team is down the middle, has to get it going. There's just no doubt about it. Now, Mark Messier hasn't scored, but he's getting his assists, and he's the playmaker. He'll see defensive men against him every game because the rest of the centermen are not noted as playmakers on this team. But this team is a team of talent, and they have to fight through these situations to become a better team.
So Mike Keenan has rearranged the lineup, changed a few people, put them into the center spot. Tikkanen's back in, and I asked him if he was concerned about the point production.
Well, I'm not concerned about it. I think it's a natural byproduct of an 84-game schedule. If you expect Mark to sustain that level of play for the 84 games, the chances are he won't be, I think, ready for the playoff competition and the effort that we need from him during the playoffs.
And Mike went on to make a prediction. He said his centerman will break out tonight. Now, as far as defensive changes, Rangers have injuries on defense. Kevin Lowe will be out of the lineup. Jay Wells has returned. Rookie Matthias Nordstrom stays in the lineup, and Doug Lidster gets a chance to play.
But you have experience going in with Lidster and Wells. That shouldn't be a problem. Nordstrom has played well. He's replacing Kevin Lowe now, and he's been matched, of course, all season long with Zubov, so that'll be interesting to see how that works. Kevin Lowe, incidentally, has seen a chiropractor trying to work on the upper portion of his back to get the spine straightened out a little bit. He felt some success, he said, with that today, and he'll be rested to try and get himself back into top condition to be able to play and to be able to contribute. Now, if you take Hudson, Nemchinov, Lowe, and Karpov out of the lineup, you're losing four pretty good defensive-minded players. So So these other players now, as a team, have to contribute to get themselves upright.
The Rangers take on a Hartford Whalers team that is out of the playoff picture. They are 13th in the Eastern Conference, and they are revamping. Right now, they're having problems scoring goals.
15 goals the last 10 games. They've gone 2-6-2 in those games, but they've only given up 26. They're not scoring. That's obvious. Sanderson and Verbeek will be in the lineup. They do score. So those are the players you watch. But they're becoming a much better defensive team. They stay in games because of their defensive play. They've gotten to become a deeper team now with all the trades they made recently, and they work hard. So this should be a tough one.
Sean Burke will be in goal for the Whalers. Mike Richter in goal for the Rangers. We'll be set to go in just a moment. Fourth meeting of the season between the Rangers and the Hartford Whalers. Rangers won the first two. Whalers won the last one. Sean Burke missed the last 3 games with the flu. Prior to that, he had played 11 straight. His save percentage is tied for 5th best in the NHL.
Since he came back from his most recent injury, the feeling in Hartford is that he's been their best player. And it'll be interesting to see how strong he feels after having the flu. And Mike Richter comes back after starting and losing the game 2-1 in Miami Monday night.
He remains the league leader in wins in the NHL, 2.60 goals against, and a little unsteady early in the game. I thought he settled down later on as the team settled down against.
You mean Terry Gregson?
Terry Gregson was out on the island last night and did the game between New Jersey and the Islanders. Rangers open up with Mark Messier centering for Adam Graves on the left. Steve Larmer on the right. Brian Leach and Jeff Bukaboom on defense. And we're underway. Ted Drury, recently acquired from the Calgary Flames, number 17, opens up at center with Paul Ranheim, number 14, also coming over from Calgary. Jocelyn Lemieux came over from Chicago, number 23. Here's Messier sliding it back. Larmer trying to get off the shot. It was blocked. Chris Pronger, the number 1 draft pick of the Whalers, number 44, is on with Brad McCrimmon, number 10. Drury sends out Ranheim, and he is sent flying by Brian Leach with a hip check.
Well, Ranheim's a very fast skating player, and that may be the best hit I've seen Brian Leach throw as a Ranger.
And Messier ran into McCrimmon and went after McCrimmon, and now Graves challenges McCrimmon.
McCrimmon's not a fighter, Sam. He never has been. And Messier trying to stand up for his rights early here. Leach throws a big hit. The original hit on the shift was thrown by Lemieux, the left winger, on, I believe, Bukaboom, the right defenseman. A big, hard hit. Now you see McCrimmon having more words with Adam Graves as Adam Graves came over after Messier was upset. But you see, Hartford plays a very enthusiastic, tough game. They're young and aggressive. And the Rangers need to play with emotion. So 3 of the 4 road games, Sam, they were down 2-0 in the game before they got into their stride. As Pierre Maguire, and he loves to coach an aggressive hockey club. You're going to see that. Good Leach move across on a fast-skating Ranheim. Good hard hit, hip on hip. It was a hip check, but it was a hip check that was up high. Now here's Messier moving in, taking the stick across the face from McCrimmon. McCrimmon's always been a guy that's smart with his stick. And now you see where Messier's upset, Graves is upset. Brad is not a fighter. He had no intentions there of dropping his gloves. He plays with Pronger, as you see there, the big defenseman moving across. Graves is in the box, McCrimmon's in the box. 2 minutes apiece.
Teams will skate 4 aside. Rangers stick with Messier and Larmer, Leach and Bukaboom. The Whalers counter with Robert Crom, number 18, and Jeff Sanderson, number 8. On defense, Alexander Godinuk and Ted Crowley. Ted Crowley, who played for the U.S. Olympic team, recently joined the Hartford Whalers. Crowley's holding on to Larmer. Leach was checked by Cron. Sanderson plays it off his own net. Messier trying to find the puck. Crowley after him. Deflects out in front. The Whalers come out. This is Jeff Sanderson dropping it off. Bukaboom clears it right out to Messier. He slides it across, and Larmer goes for it. Robert Cron checks him. Cron, number 18, back to pick up the puck. Rangers change, send on Tony Amonte and Esa Tikkanen with Sergei Zubov and Matthias Nordstrom. Puck poked out of the zone by Zubov. Nordstrom, when he played his first 2 games in the NHL early in the season, played them both here at the Garden. Tikkanen with a steal, up the puck behind him. Sends it to Amonte. Backhander is stopped by Burke. Amonte checked by Crowley.
Puck was taken away from Godinuk, number 5. He fractured some teeth this morning, and he's wearing a protection piece the bottom of his helmet. I wonder if he had trouble seeing the puck at his feet as he had it stolen. He's been a good player for them. Sam, we're watching Hartford And what they're doing, let's watch it. The puck is dropped here, 4-on-4. The puck's dropped. Rangers win the draw. Now, you see Leach is on the puck. He's thinking about making a pass. He moves it across. And hold it there. Now, if we stop it there, it wasn't Leach, pardon me. Leach is here, but what the Whalers do is take away the other defenseman, so you cannot pass the puck laterally. What they want the Rangers to do is move up ice immediately, so you're seeing them force the pass up the middle, not D to D.
Taking it against Mark Janssens. Number 4 is Frank Kuchera, who came over from Chicago, along with Jocelyn Lemieux for Gary Suter. Suter, who was a Whaler for 1 day, never played with the Whalers, was sent on to Chicago. Taking with a check on Kuchera. Zubov was tied up. Amati with a nice move into the zone. Amati trying to get a shot off, does, slid it wide. Tikkanen goes back to Zubov, plays it into the corner. 17:35 to go in the first, no score in the game, and 15 seconds left in 4-on-4 play. Richter steers that into the corner. Mark Janssens, number 22, with a bump on Zubov. Leach has the puck. Leach with a nice move past Jocelyn Lemieux. Leach moving in with a shot that's tipped off the stick into the crowd, stopping play with 17:14 to go in the first period. Rangers and Whalers, no score. Tomorrow's Children's Fund, a very important charity for Mark Messier, and prior to tonight's game, he handed over a check for over $52,000 to tomorrow's Children's Fund. $100 for every point he's scored this season.
The Messier family very, very proud that they're able to work to donate that amount of money to the charity. They've worked hard, and I'd like to say thank you to all the companies and corporations that have helped with it.
Rangers and Whalers back at full strength. Rangers have Kovalov on with Gartner and Kyprios, Jay Wells and Doug Lidster. Gartner tied up Janssens. Kovalov's pass was deflected. And a good hit on Jim Storm along the boards by Gartner. Storm, number 24, on with Janssens, number 22, and Kevin Smith, number 20. Janssens has the puck. He's tied up along the boards. Gartner kicks it ahead for Kyprios, the one-time Whaler. It's cleared out. And Lidster sends it in. Godinuk, number 5, on with Bob McGill, number 25. Kovalov stops the clearing attempt. Nice move around Godinuk. Tries to stuff it in. Saved by Burke, and he holds on. No, play continues. Now he's got it.
Good work. I think I'm seeing the Rangers battle hard here, especially along the boards. And we're seeing the Rangers create things. Kovalov with a great display of stick handling. Fooled everybody except for Sean Burke. Kyprios with an aggressive shift. I like the way the Rangers have started the game, Sam. They're aggressive with the one-on-one battles. Mike Keenan said before the game he needed some enthusiasm from his team. Look at that. Sean Burke was smart. He was near the near goal post and able to look over his left shoulder to make sure Kovalov didn't cut back in front. And then Burke went down, waiting for that low shot. And good work in front by McGill and Godinuk. As you see, a lot of battling around the goal net.
Take a look at the players out of the lineup. For the Rangers, Kevin Lowe, Peter Anderson is a healthy scratch. Eddie Olczyk is getting cooked. Wait a second.
All I can say is Sam
I have not scratched once.
The sun, I hope not. The sun doesn't shine where Sam's. There's an inner tube up.
Now, this is tough. What a tough crowd. I wish I could have gotten it bathing in the sun like you. The Lobster Man. You know, they told me that the Panthers came into the locker room. They were all talking about your sunburn.
That wasn't very smart of me, I can tell you that. Here we go.
Here's a break. Ranheim cutting in. Lidster gets back and breaks it up. Good play. Robert Cron has the puck, and he's checked by Zubov. Now a shot by Pronger goes wide. Big shot by Chris Pronger. Kremen lost it. Hartman clears the zone.
Koster went to throw a big check, and he got Jay Wells. Jay Wells just now retrieved his stick. That was some hit.
You're looking at a giveaway there. Here's Cron with a shot. Saved by Richter, and he covers up. Rangers' fourth line has Adam Graves centering.
Well, the fourth line has 3 players, and none of them are noted as natural centermen, Sam, so Graves getting some double shifting. Now, this line for Hartford has their 2 best scorers on it, Sanderson and Verbeek, and they get the best scoring chance. So Joe Koster wants to take the body. Has the man lined up, and boom, there goes Jay Wells. And I thought at first perhaps Jay Wells had hurt his arm or his shoulder, but he appears to be okay, and he was saying that things, of course, were not very pleasant with what he had to go through and the death of a very close one in the family. But he's moving on, trying to get back and going here. And he had some words with Jocelyn Lemieux, as you could see, during the line change.
Mike Keenan talking with his assistant coach, Colin Campbell, along the bench. Bookeboom looks up ice. Messier has come on with Gilbert and Larmer. Leach carries the puck. No score in the game. 15-20 to go in the first as Burke plays it off the glass. Knocked down by Gilbert. Larmer was taken down. Penalty call. Francis Kuchera. No, it's Chris Pronger. Excuse me.
Right.
Saw before. It's Chris Pronger going off.
Pronger was on the backboards, and this is the area where I think the Rangers have performed well to this point, making things happen. And Larmer spun off the boards. Pronger, the big, tall youngster at 19 years of age, 6'5" without skates. Watch Larmer spin off and battle. Boom, now you go to the front. You can see how he's held up as the puck got there, and Pronger goes to the penalty box. So the Rangers, with their power play still ranked #1, goes against the #23 penalty killing unit.
Rangers were shut out in Florida. It was the first time they've been shut out on the power play in 18 games. They mentioned Hartford 23 in penalty killing, but lately their penalty killing has been pretty good.
Thing with the suspensions to Mike Hudson and Sergei Nemchinov, it shouldn't hurt the power play unit, obviously. Sergei just had the 4 power play goals on the season.
Zubov's shot was blocked. Karam's out to Leach. Leach and Zubov with Messier, Larmer, and Graves for the power play. Shot by Leach, wide. Messier gets to the puck. Bob McGill with František Kuchera on for Hartford. Pat Verbeek, number 16. Mark Jansen's number 22. Jansen's trying to knock it away from Leach. Leach moving. Zubov fakes the shot. Messier's got the puck. Finds Leach. Leach shoots. Save Burke. Rebound Leach. Save Burke. And Verbeek clears all the way down.
John Burke playing well early here. Looks very confident. Not busy feet. Very smart in goal. And good work by Brian Leach, who looked sharp early in this game.
Here's Messier. Carrying across. Taken away by Kron, and he clears. Over the last 10 games, the Whalers are 47 for 52 penalty killing. That's better than 90%. That's been the one part of their game. Their overall defense, as you mentioned, has been good, but that's been a key factor. Leach with a good rush. Fanned on the shot. Gets taken down by Gdyniuk on the play. Graves looks for the puck. Larmer's got it. Now Zubov with 45 seconds to go on the power play. Larmer's got the puck. Messier centers for Graves, tipped it over the top and over the glass into the crowd, stopping play.
Gdyniuk wearing that helmet with the football-type protection you can see in front of his mouth. This morning, a puck came up off the blade of a stick and caught him on the lower teeth. Now, his teeth did not fracture above the gum line. They fractured down below the gum line, the roots. And he spent a good portion of the afternoon in a dentist chair trying to get his teeth repaired so he's able to play in the game. He has played wonderfully well since coming to Hartford. And here's a hockey team, Sam, that will not make the playoffs, yet he's in a position where he's plus 18 on the season, even strength plus minus. That's a huge number for a player on a team that won't make the playoffs. They've been very happy with his play.
Jansen's on the faceoff. It comes out to Kovalov. Kovalov plays it across to Tikkanen. Tikkanen down low for Amonte. Gartner on as well with Nordstrom. Amonte, 25 seconds to go on the power play. Tikkanen in the corners, checked by McCrimmon. Amonte takes the shot, hits the outside of the net. Tikkanen plays it to Gartner. Back to Tikkanen. Nordstrom to Tikkanen. Tikkanen drives it. Deflected off the side of the net by Gartner. He's checked by McCrimmon and knocked down. Gdyniuk moves it to McCrimmon. Up the boards, Nordstrom there to keep it in. Around to Gartner behind the net. Gartner checked by McCrimmon. Power play is over. Pronger is out. Tikkanen winds up and shoots wide. Seems at full strength. Rangers 0 for 1. And it looks like the camera lens came down. Looks like a second puck on the ice.
Exactly right.
Camera lens knocked down. The whistle stops play immediately. 13:08 to go in the first. There's no score. Ex-Ranger Darren Turcotte sitting alongside where that lens came out. And Al Troutwig's downstairs. Al, show us that lens.
You know, Sam, I just couldn't resist. Here it is. It was from the lens of the Newark Star Ledger, so we know who to blame, and it really took a beating. It's all bent, and it really is no good anymore.
Al will have it at the pawn shop in about an hour and a half. I get 75 cents.
Up the board, Koser looking for it. Play back behind the Rangers net. Leach with a check on Ranheim. Ranheim number 14. Ted Drury number 17 battling along the boards. Jocelyn Lemieux comes in, number 23. Lemieux checked by Bukaboom, works his way in front. And the puck taken away by Kovalov. Kovalov out. Kovalov hit by Jocelyn Lemieux.
Hartford said that there's a penalty upcoming to Bukaboom, I think. He went high on Lemieux. Lemieux draws the penalty. Hartford said that when they made the deal and got Jocelyn Lemieux out of Chicago, two teams called immediately, tried to make a deal for Lemieux. They think that Lemieux makes them grittier. And on this play, Bukaboom is called for elbowing. He'll move up. There's Lemieux on Kovalov. Up comes Bukaboom now. Can't agree with that call.
Led with the forearm. Bukaboom will sit. There's Darren Turcotte, who had reconstructive knee surgery. He's been out a couple of months, and he was skating this morning.
He could have played tonight, but the team has decided to give him another couple of weeks to really make sure that the leg is very stable, and he does not take any chances at all of re-injuring the leg, and he's ready for next season. But again, he said that he was ready. If he had to play, he would have.
I asked him if he might play in the World Championships when we were up in Hartford. He said he would like to, but he doesn't know if the team will let him. And I think they want him to be 100% come next season.
If he's 100%, that's a tremendous way to go over and work on conditioning and getting your game level back to where it should be at no cost to the organization. It's a wonderful idea if it indeed is something that he can do health-wise.
Bukaboom for elbowing at 7:29. Whalers' first power play. Just like their penalty killing, their power play is 23rd in the league. But unlike their penalty killing, in recent games, their power play has been no good. 5 for 53 in the last 10 games. And that's under 10%. Robert Cron with Pat Verbeek, Jeff Sanderson, Chris Pronger, and Frank Kuchera. Kuchera also came over from Chicago.
They don't have Andrew Castle, fine player that can help their power plays out right now with an eye injury. A puck deflected off a player right into his eye socket, bruised his eye, pushed his eye back into his head. Yet he was, I think, just able to get out of the hospital today. And, I mean, a good player. Very fortunate the injury wasn't more serious.
That's the good news. The other good news was he scored a goal on that play. Pronger back for the puck. Larmer after him. Larmer takes it away. Larmer looking for a trailer. It was tipped out by Sanderson. Zubov takes over. 50 seconds to go on the penalty to Bukaboom. 11:20 to go in the first. There's no score in the game. And it's fired all the way down. 7 shots for the Rangers, 3 for the Whalers. They've had none thus far on the power play. Ranheim is hit by Zubov. Kovalov looking for the puck.
There's 2 good hits on Ranheim in the first period. One by Leach, one by Zubov.
And the puck cleared all the way down. Gdyniuk and Crowley have come on the points. Ranheim, Drury, and Brian Propp are up front. Propp number 26. Puck around the boards. Richter able to stop it. 10 seconds to go on the man advantage for Hartford. Ranheim along the boards. Comes back to the point man. Gdyniuk toward the net. Knocked away by Richter with the blocker in the corner. Ranheim. Bukaboom's back on. 1 shot on goal on that power play. Team's at full strength. Nice move by Kovalov around Propp. Moves in on Gdyniuk. Slides it across. Tipped away by Crowley to Propp. On to Ted Drury. Drury sending it ahead. Richter gloves it. Holds it. Away from Brian Propp and gets a whistle. With 10:16 to go in the first period, Mike Richter's faced 5 shots thus far. No score. A real winner knows how to party right. Please use good sense when you drink. Know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. 10:16 remaining in the first period. The Rangers send on Mark Messier with Adam Graves. Mike Gartner now on the right wing. Leach and Bukaboom on defense. Puck comes to Leach, sends out Graves. Gartner racing down the right side. The pass hit him. Whalers take over. Frank Kuchera swinging back, trying to get away from Adam Graves. Now Jocelyn Lemieux. Slow down at the line, and the Whalers go offside. Stopping play. Just under 10 minutes to go. Well, as you may have heard, the Rangers called up U.S. Olympian Todd Marchand from Binghamton, where he had played 8 games. He arrived in New York today, skated with the Rangers. Bruce Beck talked to him
Has lack
about
of
his
size ever been a deterrent for you?
Well, everybody kept saying, he's too small and he can't, he'll never make it. And, it's been my, my goal to prove everybody wrong, because everybody says that you're too small. And I don't think that small players, obviously it's more difficult for a small player in the NHL, but, with hard work and desire, you can overcome that.
Here's Messier moving in 2-on-1 to Graves, and he missed it. And he hits the side of the net.
Kuchera made a great play coming back, Sam, and blocked the pass. All started with a chip out by Mike Gartner, and Mike Gartner now draws a penalty. So a good shift by Gartner. He chipped the puck out of the Rangers zone and set up the 2-on-1. Kuchera made a great play to break it up, getting back with a long reach. Now watch Gartner on the boards on the left side. Little chip, bang, up over top of Kuchera. Now Kuchera has to struggle to get back, has to hustle. When the puck finally settles down, Messier tries the pass, and there's Kuchera. He stopped the pass from getting through, and then Mike Gartner kept on working and drew the penalty. There's Messier waiting for the puck to settle down. Good accurate pass, but Kuchera was right there. Mark Jansen takes the penalty for elbowing. For interference. My apologies. Interference on Mike Gartner.
Rangers go on the power play. Here's the interference. Gartner taken down by Jansen.
Little tug around the waist with Jansen. Second power play for the Rangers.
They are 0 for 1. Had 2 shots on goal in the first one. Kovalov moves it. That shot gloved side of the net by Sean Burke.
We're seeing a lot of interesting things happen with the Rangers right now. For instance, Mike Gartner just played the right wing with Messier. Kovalov's playing the point. And he just had a pass come back to his position where he faked the shot. It's a firm pass back to him, and he passed it accurately to Messier, shot on goal. That was a skill play by Kovalov.
I think the only thing you don't want to see are the Whalers coming back at Kovalov, and then he has to play defense.
Well, when you have Zubov on the ice, Sam, and if he just finishes a shift, he can't play on the power play because he's tired. And Carpenter's not dressed because of the bad wrist. So why not experiment? The Rangers have had a good season. Why not be ready for various situations that can come up along the way? Kovalov getting a shot here. It's interesting.
Verbeek and prop on for Hartford. Kovalov checked by Verbeek, who tries to take it away. Messier trying to help out. He's got the puck now. Pronger and McCrimmon on defense for Hartford. Here's Gartner moving in on Pronger. Leach turns, slides it in front off the skates of Adam Graves. Back the other way, Pat Verbeek.
And that was what you were talking about. That would have been a 2-on-1 on Kovalov, but Gartner's speed got back.
So you had Gartner and Kovalov on defense. There's Kovalov stick handling in and setting up the power play. A minute to go on the man advantage. Kovalov holding. Now Messier. Messier tried to get it through to Gartner. Went off a Whaler stick. Leach in deep. Now Gartner along the boards. Graves moves it to Messier. Pronger picks him up. Pass across intended for Leach was knocked down by Verbeek. No score in the game. 8:25 to go in the first. Rangers on a power play. Leach against McCrimmon in the corner.
Boy, it's interesting to see Leach in deep and only Kovalov back.
Fired out by Pronger.
That's a death wish. It's interesting. And the other thing that's interesting is, will Kovalov shoot from the point? We don't see him take slap shots very often.
Now Matthias Nordstrom and Esa Tikkanen have come on with Steve Larmer and Tony Amonte. Kovalov still on. Here's a chance for Tikkanen. Good save by Burke.
It was a great pass, and I don't think I don't think Tikkanen was quite ready for the pass. Otherwise, he has a great scoring chance.
10 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Nordstrom with the outlet. Larmer's got it. Moving in on Gdynia. Larmer pulls up to make a pass. It goes back to Zubov. To Larmer for the shot. Score! Steve Larmer, just as the power play had expired, puts the Rangers on the board. It's 1-0, and the first in a while for Steve Larmer.
It's goal number 17 for him. He's always been a guy that shot the puck high on goaltenders. Sean Burke has been staying deep in his net. You see the puck gain the zone with Larmer on it. He looks around. Now he'll try and open up the defense a little bit, which he does, and he just puts a shot on goal. It's a rocket up top. The puck may even have been rolling a little bit when he shot it. He gained the zone, kept control, and in moving the puck back to the point to Zubov, it opens up the ice, and there's the shot. I don't think Burke was expecting the rocket up top like it was. 1-0 Rangers, and Zubov gets himself another point.
And an 8-game point scoring streak for Sergei Zubov, who continues among the leaders in points among defensemen in the NHL and among the leaders in assists in the NHL.
Ties him with Mark Messier for the team lead in points now, #1.
And Matthias Nordstrom gets an assist, his first point in the NHL. Puck cleared out of the zone. They put up Zuboff and McIntyre. John McIntyre doesn't play here anymore. I posted that on the board.
To the Vancouver Canucks organization.
But he did wear 14 when he was here, so we'll give him that.
Computers are not always right, are they?
Nope. Matthias Nordstrom gets the assist.
That's the IRS.
Oh.
You were telling me that.
They're my friends.
I know.
Koster trying to get out in front. Loose puck picked up by the Whalers. Larmer's 17th from Zuboff and Nordstrom at 12:20, giving the Rangers the 1-0 lead. Litzner sends it in. Whalers have Todd Harkins on, number 15, with Jeff Sanderson and Pat Verbeek. Harkins with the puck. 6:10 to go in the first. Harkins drops it off. Sanderson's shot is a save by Richter. Harkins to the puck, steered aside. Good shift for Harkins. Back the other way, Mark Messier. Messier across against McCrimmon. 6 saves made by Burke. Graves after the puck. McCrimmon tries to move it. Up the boards for Verbeek. Leak stops it. Harkins able to clear the zone. And the Rangers go back to play it. Rangers are out shooting the Whalers 12-6 and lead 1-0 on the goal by Larmer. Messier moving in again.
Penalty.
Tied up by Gdyniuk, and we may get a penalty on Alexander Gdyniuk here.
I believe so.
Graves tries to get a shot off. It was blocked. Bukaboom to the puck. Rangers have an extra skater on the delayed penalty. Shot by Tikkanen went wide. Leaks to the puck. Across to Tikkanen. Sanderson out after him. That shot was blocked. Saved by Burke on Bukaboom, and play stopped. Rangers have lifted their play the last couple of minutes. They have a goal and go on the power play when we come back. Hooking penalty to Alexander Gdyniuk at 14:45. Rangers' third power play of the game.
Mark Messier with his good shift skating-wise. He had full speed moving in on the defenseman. You can see the hook slowing Messier down as he reached for the puck. When Messier skates like that, things happen. He draws the power play.
Rangers' goal actually was set up with the man advantage. It was scored by Larmer 1 second after the power play expired. And here's another shift at the point for Alexei Kovalov. He's on with Leach, Messier, Graves, and Gartner for the power play. Nice lead to Messier. Messier moves in on Pronger. Back pass. Finds Gartner. He shoots, save first. Passes it into the corner. Jansen's on with Lemieux, Pronger, and McCrimmon. Gartner with the puck. Around to Messier. In front, Graves, and a save by Burke. The rebound. Gartner looking for it. They score! Adam Graves. It's a power play goal, and the Rangers lead 2-0. Number 48 for Adam Graves.
It's pretty good work by the Rangers on this play, and Adam Graves sneaks up. He's now tied with Pierre LaRouche. Messier and Gartner with some good work, quick plays. That hit the goal post, and you'll see Gartner struggle and battle. Graves is on his way down, and the puck goes right over top. You're going to see the puck hit the post. Now look at Gartner lift McCrimmon's stick, keeps the play alive, and Graves with Pronger on him, outmuscles him, reaches for the puck. The Rangers lead 2-0 on the power play. It's been a tremendously hard-working period for the Rangers. They are working as a team, playing with enthusiasm, and making things happen.
Graves within 2 of the Rangers' all-time single-season record held by Vic Hadfield. Jeff Sanderson in the corner. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. 20th power play goal of the season for Adam Graves, who remains among the league leaders in that category.
Now, as soon as Verbeek and Sanderson get on the ice, it's the only line getting offense for Hartford in the game.
Jay Wells trying to take it away, moves it, kept in by Gdyniuk. Deflects to the corner. Sanderson chopped that by Wells.
Rangers need to get it out. Tikkanen has been playing without his stick here the entire shift, and he needs to get a new one. He now gets to the bench.
Gets a new stick. Whalers change. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first. Rangers leading 2-0. Graves with his 48th from Gartner and Messier at 15-16. Mark Messier had gone 2 games without a point. That's a lot for him.
He now moves back ahead of Zuboff, number 1 on the Rangers scoring list. Let's go back to, or go downstairs to Al Trutwig.
Why not?
Oh,
Well, thank you, J.D. That's a rarity. I'm still looking over this list of teams in the Roller Hockey International, of which Mark Messier is an owner. He owns the Tampa Bay Tritons, but the Atlanta Fire Ants, the Minnesota Arctic Blast, and the, maybe my favorite, Anaheim Bulldogs. We'll talk to Mark about that and about his donation to tomorrow's Children's Month in the first intermission. Back to Sam or J.D., I'm not sure at this point.
You want to take it?
No.
Oh, all right.
You're the big cheese up here. Go ahead.
Bob Page will also have an update during the intermission from the MSG Sports Desk, and JD and I will be back with a look at first period highlights. Rangers with a 2-0 lead on the Whalers.
Mark's rollerblade team may have Danny Gare coaching it during the offseason. Remember, Nick Petit will be coaching the team in New Jersey. I hope they all do well.
Well, that's really interesting, getting some named people involved to create some excitement. For Graves, power play goal number 20 ties him for second in the league with Neely, Hull, and Andrechuk. Luke Robitaille leads with 23. Paul Ranheim sending it in. Richter steers it aside to Kovalov. 3:15 remaining in the first period. Rangers have outshot the Whalers 17-7. Back for the puck. Kuchera, he's hit there by Koser. Puck cleared out of the zone. Zubov has it. Zubov paired with Nordstrom. Gilbert sends it in. With the Rangers coming down with the suspensions to Hudson and Nemchinov, the good news is that Eddie Olczyk is getting close to coming back.
Thinking about playing Tuesday, he told me that, and he really feels good. He said in practice he's skating well. Of course, it's a wrist injury, but he said he's shooting the puck extremely well. So he's pretty excited about having a chance to get right back into the lineup.
Puck in center, bouncing down, and is played by Todd Harkins and across to Brad McCrimmon. With 2:25 to go on the first, Rangers with a 2-0 lead on goals by Larmer and Graves. Chris Pronger. Graves did a good job of out-muscling young Pronger in front to score that goal.
Play wouldn't have been alive if it hadn't been for the quick stick of Gartner, though, when he lifted the stick on Brad McCrimmon as McCrimmon went to fire the puck out of the zone.
Kiprios with Hartman. Kiprios dumps in. Burke goes out to play the puck. 2 minutes to go in the first. Burke fires it out for Brian Propp.
Now, McCrimmon just had a battle with Kiprios. McCrimmon's an old-style player. You go to hit him, he'll put a stick right in your nose, which is exactly what he did to Messier early in the period. It's the law in the National Hockey League, especially with the older players. When you go to hit him, you've got to go through lumber first.
Zubov on the rush. 4-on-3 across the line. Messier with a back pass. Gartner's shot deflected by McCrimmon. Sanderson checked by Gartner. Graves moves in to get the puck. Gartner in the corner. Around to Messier. Comes out in front. Chance for Graves. Knocked away. Graves went after it again. Messier's got it. At the line. Plays it to Nordstrom. Bounces into the circle. Past Pronger. Moved aside. And out comes Robert Cron. Minute 15 to go in the first. Pat Verbeek slides it in front. Zubov got a stick on it. Verbeek down into the corner. Zubov poking at it. Now Robert Cron looks it ahead. Messier looking for it. Comes out to Cron. Shot by Verbeek. Good save by Richter. Tough shot by Verbeek.
Best scoring chance of the period. Richter with a good reflex save. But again, it's these two players, Sam, whether it's with Cron or whomever. It's Verbeek and Sanderson. When they're on the ice, pay attention. They both are tremendous goal scorers at home or on the road. It doesn't much matter.
40 seconds to go in the first period. Larmer knocked it away from Jocelyn Lemieux. In comes Ted Crowley with a hard shot that went wide. Lemieux battles Tikkanen along the boards. Larmer's got the puck. Larmer plays it off the boards, took a hit to clear it. 25 seconds to go as Crowley sends it in. Larmer waits for it. Got a little help from Zubov and finds Amonte. Amonte and Tikkanen. That's Ted Drury coming back to check Tony Amonte. Played off the boards by Ted Crowley. Moved out. Jocelyn Lemieux back for it. Final seconds of the first period. Started slowly, but the Rangers picked it up. Midway through the period, they came alive and dominated the second half of the period. Steve Larmer scored at 12:20, and then Adam Graves with his 48th of the season. That's the third most by a Ranger ever. Only Mike Gartner and Vic Hatfield have had more. So at the end of one, the Rangers head for the locker room, leading the Hartford Whalers 2-0. Al will be back with Mark Messier in a moment.
Hard work for the New York Rangers paying off in that first period as they score 2 and lead 2-zip in the first intermission here at Madison Square Garden. We turn now to the Coke Classic Play, and it's actually a two-part Coke Classic Play. The first part of it was yesterday in Tampa, Florida, with Mark Messier showing off the new sweaters and logo of his team in Roller Hockey International. And we found someone to model the T-shirt that we were able to bring north to New York, and there's Sal Red Light Messina petitioning to be the radio analyst for Mark's team. Does Sal have a shot? I mean, you guys do have games on radio.
Well, we need a quick, good playmaking centerman, so maybe he can come out and try out.
Now, you've got Phil Bourque on this team, and I guess it's important to get at least one or two good names to build around, right?
Well, we're just looking to build a solid team right now. I think that, my brother Paul is the general manager. He's out there scouting talent right now, and most of the players that played last year came from the East Coast League and some of the minor leagues, but hopefully down the road, 10, 20 years, maybe we can bring some of our own roller hockey players right from the ground up.
Now, Marky, you've got your family involved, so it's fun in that respect. But, financially, I would think this is something that you're interested in, too. This league seems like it's on the verge of becoming pretty big. You've got a national TV contract with ESPN.
Well, it's exactly. It's going to be run as a first-class league organization and whatnot. And there's some big plans for the future to expand worldwide and perhaps someday play for maybe a World Cup. So I think just the numbers and statistics are there for roller hockey around the world, and it's going to be successful, and we're just glad to be in at the ground level.
Well, Mark also gives plenty. As we saw pregame tonight here at Madison Square Garden in a special presentation, Mark made a presentation of a check, $52,500 to the Tomorrow's Children's Hospital in New Jersey. The Tomorrow's Children's Fund is something that so many people have been involved with. Imus over the years, and yourself, you've been involved in this for some time. This is a very special place where kids can go suffering from cancer and receive treatment and be with their families.
Well, I think a special thing about the program is it helps the kids that are sick right now. And a lot of charities, a lot of functions their money goes to research, but this money is going to the kids that are suffering right now so they can enjoy a pretty much a real happy and cheerful life. And I'm really glad to be a part of it. It's really grown from something my first year here to what it is now. And a check for $52,000 tonight is testimony to that, and we got a long ways to go yet.
Well, you have a lot to be happy and proud about. Thanks for the visit, Mark. All right, Mark Messier of the New York Rangers has been our guest. When we come back, Bob Page with an update at the MSG Sports Desk and a potential serious injury for Michel Goulet.
Hi again, everybody. Bob Page back with you from our Sports Desk studios once more. Good matchup in Montreal tonight. Two of the original six in action. Chicago and Montreal, both teams playing very well of late. They have just gone to the first period moments ago, first intermission, and the two teams are tied at 1. Matthew Schneider and Jeremy Roenick had the 2 goals, but this was the big story of the period. Michel Goulet just lost his balance and crashed into the boards, writhing in pain on the ice. Goulet was taken off the ice on a stretcher. He apparently injured his knee, but that's all we know so far. You see here, once again, Goulet going in hard against the board. Now, the others in the NHL so far tonight at Florida, John Van Beesbrook is in goal for the Panthers. Bob Kudelski has scored his 39th of the year. Theo Fleury, his 31st for Calgary. Both power play markers are tied at 1. Edmonton winning at Tampa Bay 2-1, also at the end of the first period. And Sergio Momesso has the Vancouver goal. They're winning at Maple Leaf Gardens 1-0, end first period. Tanya Harding has just pleaded guilty in Portland to felony charges of conspiracy to hinder the prosecution in the investigation of the recent attack on Nancy Kerrigan. As part of a plea bargain, Harding will pay a $100,000 fine and serve 3 years of probation. I'll have more in a moment. The NIT tournament got underway this afternoon up at Albany with Siena stunning Georgia Tech 76-68. Baseball, the calculated gamble the Orioles took, signing Sid Fernandez to a 3-year, $9 million deal in the offseason has apparently backfired. The former Met out indefinitely. It was announced today with a sore arm. Current Mets clobbered Montreal 10-5 at West Palm Beach. Glenn Davis hit 2 home runs. Mattingly had 2 home runs at Fort Lauderdale as the Yankees defeated the Tigers 5-2. Jimmy Key pitched 5 shutout innings. Stay tuned. The Rangers-Whalers second period coming right up after we pause again for this time.
Sam Rosen, John Davidson, Al Troutwig at Madison Square Garden, where the Rangers have a 2-0 lead on the Whalers, and here's how they got it. This is right at the end of a power play, John.
The Rangers on the power play able to move into the zone, and you'll see number 5, Godinuk, the defenseman, move over and stay with Larmer. Zubov with a pass to Larmer, and the defenseman used as a screen, shot right over the shoulder of a very surprised Sean Burke, so the Rangers got the lead on the play.
And here comes the power play goal.
I think here, basically, the Rangers move the puck well. Graves hits the post, but watch Pronger on Graves. Very soft checking job. And Graves not knocked down, not held, his stick was not held or anything. Very soft checking job, and Graves scored.
Let's see what happened here on this play with Mark Messier.
Ends up being a great save. Messier will lose the glove on the check here on Sanderson. And you see the little pass across. And the great shot by Verbeek right towards the goalpost. And Richter with one of his better saves of the period. He only had 8 shots. That was a good one and a real good save.
Rangers have a 2-0 lead. Teams returning to the ice will return with the start of the second period right after these messages.
New York Rangers hockey is brought to you in part by Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
We're back. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Amtrak's Metroliner service with 16 departures to downtown D.C. every business day. Steve Larmer 17th from Zuboff and Nordstrom at 12:20. Graves 48th. A power play goal, his 20th power play goal from Gartner and Messier. Rangers outshooting the Whalers 17-9. Late change on that. And the Rangers 1 for 3 on the power play. The Whalers 0 for 1. Sergei Zubov, he is having a fabulous season. He picked up his 63rd assist of the season in the first period. And on the all-time Ranger list for a single season, tied for 6th. Pretty good company there, huh?
Absolute surprise, to be quite honest with you. And he's just getting better, not showing any signs of wear, not tiring whatsoever. Interesting first period of the 17 Rangers shots. 15 from their forwards, which is a real good sign. They're working hard deep in the other team's zone. The two defensive shots were from Leach, both of them.
Mike Keenan has to be pleased with the first period play of his team. Pierre Maguire, young coach. And we've heard some criticism, John. There's been some talk around the league that some players are upset with his style, but he's feeling his way also.
He's the youngest coach in the league. They made a lot of changes. I think that Hartford, quite honestly, feels that they've saved some money in the last few deals they've made. Now they can go spend some money during the offseason. Mr. Gordon, the owner, feels that they really want to make a run of it. Hartford, and I think they'll be there for at least one more year trying to make it work. You'll see them sign a guy by the name of Nikolishin, who's the captain of the Russian team in the Olympics and a hard-working player and a good player. His team will try to improve itself during the offseason. Sam, they're young, especially on the blue line if they're healthy. This is a young team that'll be a contending team.
Across the line, Ted Drury, deflected by Bukaboom up into the crowd. Opening minute of play here in the second period. The long reach of Jeff Bukaboom deflecting the big wind-up shot. Ted Drury. Ted Drury coming over from Calgary. There's Jocelyn Lemieux. And an adjustment for him. A little closer to his brother. Claude is in New Jersey, and Jocelyn is now in Hartford.
He's a hard-nosed player. Plays the game one way, and it's basically the same way nearly every night. Again, teams around the league love to have hard-nosed players that are gritty players, and because of his style of play, and amongst the other players that were acquired, they feel that they're younger and they feel that they're grittier, and that's a nice combination.
Yeah. Tell you the truth, I was surprised that the Blackhawks gave him up.
Well, they needed to find somebody to help out Chris Chelios, or he was just going to be worn right into the ice with the fractured leg that Steve Smith has. You know, Pierre Maguire told me that their organization would have signed Gary Suter had they not been able to make the deal they wanted to make. Now, Gary Suter wants somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 million a year, which is a lot of fishnagles, big for a player that's coming off a bad knee injury or leg injury, and I believe he's now 30 years of age. So they decided to try and get younger and grittier and deeper. They feel that most of the season they've been able to play only 2.5 lines per game. Now, when they're healthy, they're not healthy for this game, it's face facts, but if they're healthy, they feel they have 4 lines that can play. Yeah. And maybe on back-to-back games, Sam, they'd be better for it.
Kovalov around the net, slid it through the crease, knocked away from Koser. Jay Wells there to play it. Around the boards. Kuchera able to move it ahead. Verbeek trying to chip it clear, he does, and Koser goes back for it. Rangers have Kovalov centering Koser and Gilbert right now with Wells and Lidster. Robert Cron with a puck. Cron's offense has tailed off. He got off to a great start, and they could use some production from him. Whalers have only scored more than 2 goals in a game once in the last 10. when they scored 4.
They're 45 or 75 make that goals against fewer than a year ago, but they've scored 40 fewer goals. That's the problem now. This team may set a franchise record for fewest goals against in the season, so there is some positive signs to Hartford's season.
Cron playing it back. Bob McGill moves it out. Slow change by the Whalers.
Both teams. That was now a two-line pass. Both teams had slow changes there.
I thought the Whalers at one point almost had too many men on the ice. New York Knicks, 7 straight wins. They're without John Starks, but boy, did Hubert Davis look good the other night. Take on the Milwaukee Bucks on St. Patrick's night. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It all begins with Knicks game night.
And on WFAN, 66 on the AM dial.
Just in case you can't get to the TV.
You must have picture-in-picture on your television. You watch? Is there anything you don't watch?
Oh, I move it around a little bit.
Is that how you got the rash? Sitting there, moving it around.
Sitting there eating those bad shrimp.
Oh, excuse me.
Jansen's playing it into the corner. Blocked in front. And Amonte racing for it. 2-on-1. Amonte moves in with Tikkanen. Amonte cuts it and shoots. And good save. Burke got a stick on it to steer it away. Penalty is upcoming on the Rangers.
Interference by Tikkanen. Tikkanen went a little deep on the play. If he wasn't that deep, he might have scored and not been in the penalty box. Steve Larmer on the puck. Watch him chip the puck out past the defenseman. And when he does that, it sets up the 2-on-1. A good play. Godinuk's trapped. 2-on-1. Now Tikkanen is on the side without the puck driving to the net. Here's the shot of the pass. Now stop it there. Now if Tikkanen stops somewhere up in here, he may be able to make the play. The puck goes in and you see how he's almost at the goal line and there's the interference. If he stops up a little bit higher, he may be able to deflect the puck in behind Sean Burke.
Power play for the Whalers. They're second. They're 0 for 1. Tikkanen for interference at 2:41. Messier with Graves, Leach, and Bookeboom, the Rangers penalty killing unit. Messier holds. The shot stopped by Burke. He covers up and steers it to Pat Verbeek. Verbeek with Sanderson and Cron, Pronger, and Kuchera for the power play. Around the boards, Bookeboom holds up his man Verbeek. Kuchera plays it in deep. Verbeek plays it back up the boards for Sanderson. Verbeek behind the net. Off the stick of Richter. Graves to Messier. And again, the Rangers break down. Off the end boards. Burke plays it back into the corner to Pronger. Chris Pronger gets a lot of ice time now, John, with the
around
trade of Zalapsky and Patrick.
Around 30 minutes. It's his job now, and they say he's handled it very well. Godinuk's had a tough time here in this game because I think spending the day in the dentist chair didn't help him.
Yeah.
Kovalov getting a lot of ice time, Sam. He's been on the power play, the point on the power play, regular shift, shifting with the fourth line, and here's a penalty killer.
Kovalov on with Larmer, Zubov, and Nordstrom. He joined us late. Rangers are without Kevin Lowe and Alexander Karpovtsev, both out with injuries. Lowe's back bothering him, and Karpovtsev with a sore wrist. Ooh, good hit by Kovalov. Back the other way, Brian Propp. Pronger coming in. Pronger against Nordstrom. The backhander save made. Tricky shot. Good save by Mike Richter. Good hit by Pronger. Knocked down Larmer.
That's getting the size. Whoa. Oh, man. Was it 2 good hits. Ranheim was hit by Kovalov.
And Kovalov just tripped.
Took a penalty, right?
Ted Crowley.
Steve Larmer got nailed by big Chris Pronger. Goes at 190, and it looks like he weighs about 230. Pronger moves in on the power play. The backhand shot is kicked aside, and then Larmer will go get the puck, and Pronger will try to get back. And does he ever? A little reach, and man, banged, I think, Steve Larmer's helmet right into the glass. Now here, this was earlier, and Kovalov moved right into Ranheim. I think Kovalov's elbow was right into the face of Ranheim, but the referee was facing MetLife in the corner.
You're right.
The Kovalov on the same shift got caught for the trip.
Tripped up Ted Crowley. There's young Chris Pronger. Whalers traded up to get him, and what a deal and a good move for them.
I wish I had Pronger's problem. He can't keep weight on. So they're feeding him a lot of high protein, good foods, and they keep feeding it to him to make him put weight on.
I think you've got to give him your diet. Let him know.
Hangs around with me for a week, we'll straighten him out.
Chicken wings, that's the key.
No, they're not good for you.
5-on-3 is over. It's back to a 5-on-4. Kovalov went for tripping at 4:31. Ted Crowley has trouble with Tikkanen. It brought an offside, a deliberate offside, which will bring the face-off back into the Hartford zone.
A real good chance for Hartford to try and get some offense going, and even if they don't score, it'll be 4 minutes of power play to generate offense. Now the Rangers, terrific job killing the first power play off.
I have to mention that we have a special guest with us in the booth tonight, Ann Baer. She and her husband Henry were at the night for the New York Rangers for the prevention of child abuse, and in an auction bid $3,000 to spend the night with you and me in the booth.
Listen to you talk about your rash. Isn't that wonderful, huh?
You were supposed to buy dinner for her, and all you got her was a bottle of water.
Well, it's healthy.
Oh, okay.
I publicly say thank you very much. I mean, the prevention of child abuse is just a wonderful charity that the Rangers for many years have been involved with. And it's the wives as much as the players and management and everybody else. And for people like Ann and her family to donate what they've done, it's a wonderful thing. It really is.
Messier with the puck. Rangers down a man for another minute and 20 seconds. Alexander Gdynia shoots it in. Around the boards it goes. Knocked down by Verbeek. Messier looking for it. It's kept in by Ted Crowley. Jeff Sanderson with the puck. Sanderson looking. Back pass out to Gdynia. Takes the shot. Didn't get good wood on it.
He broke his stick right in half. He's had a tough night. He really has.
Leach tries to clear. He does, but it hit the open door with Gdynia trying to get off to the bench. The door was open, hit the crack in the door.
Looks like it may have hit him. He's having trouble.
Bukaboom swings it around. Crowley comes in. Messier checks him. Bukaboom tries to clear again, and this time he's successful. 35 seconds to go on the power play for Hartford. 14 minutes to go in the second. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Whalers changing. Ted Drury lifts it ahead. That's Paul Ranheim, checked by Doug Lidster. Drury has it now. Back pass to Pronger. Takes the shot. And that whistled wide of the net. Richter was screened on the play. Drury tried to swing it out in front. Wells leaves it for Tikkanen. Rangers break out. 10 seconds to go on the power play for the Whalers. Hard shot went wide. Burke covers it up and got a whistle.
And right now the player's going at Jay Wells, who chopped at the puck that was underneath the glove of Sean Burke. That shot by Tikkanen was a blast. Al Trautwig's got some information for us.
JD again. Well, it's another puck story, Sam and John. This was the puck that Adam Graves used to score his 48th goal. Gord Brosker came over and gave it to Rangers equipment man Joe Murphy. But because there wasn't a 50th, Joe didn't exactly know what to do. So he asked Gord Brosker, why did he hand him the puck? Gord said, well, I wasn't sure if it was 50 or not. So Joe Murphy, being ever resourceful, realized that it was Mattias Nordstrom's first NHL point. And so that has been recorded, and this will be Mr. Nordstrom's first point souvenir.
The ever alert Joe Murphy. Thanks, Al.
Good stuff. And thanks to Gord Brosker, the linesman, to do it. By the way, if Adam Graves scores his 50th goal, or when he does, the Rangers cannot, because of league rules, leave the bench to celebrate. But they've been given permission by Brian Burke to celebrate number 51 when he breaks the record. And I'm quite sure he will.
Are you going to run out on the ice, too? Did they give you permission?
I got a parachute to leave the booth. One of those propellered ones that guy used in the fight, you know.
Richter stops the puck. Team's back at full strength. Rangers are out shooting the Whalers 20-10, leading 2-0. Whalers are now 0 for 3 on the power play. They had back-to-back power plays and failed to capitalize. Jim Storm, number 24, is on with Mark Jansen and Kevin Smith. Across the line, Jansen. He turns, he shoots. Richter knocks it down. The rebound. Smith carried it wide. Puts it out in front. There's a penalty coming up.
There would have been a scoring chance as Kevin Smith drove to the net. Kovalov held his stick away from getting to the puck. Scoring chance taken away, and the third Hartford power play in a row.
Second straight penalty for Alexei Kovalov. This one is for holding the stick at 7:06. Whalers get their fourth power play of the game. Here it is.
You'll see this shot get away from Mike Richter. He should try to grab that with his glove. And when it gets away, it's a rebound in front. And there you can see Jansen's had the scoring chance. His stick was held. And that's a call a referee just simply has to make. Make that Smith had his stick held. The referee has to make that call. It's a good call.
Power play Hartford. Their fourth of the game. Cron couldn't control it. Graves has it out to Messier. He's bumped by Kuchera. Back comes Cron. Now Verbeek. For Cron, moves it around for Sanderson, but Graves is there to take it out. Graves, Messier, Bukaboom, and Leach. Pronger has it back for Hartford. Chris Pronger down for Robert Cron. Pass back to the trailer, intended for Sanderson, and Graves broke it up. Here's Kuchera with it. Sets up Pronger. In the corner it goes. He's got to work on those one-timers. Verbeek battling Messier and Leach, and Graves drives it down the ice and over the glass into the crowd, so the clearing attempt doesn't work. The face-off back in the Ranger zone.
A little bit of league news. Last night I saw Rick Tocchet with an interview during the Pittsburgh-Washington game. And we'll take a look at Adam Graves firing the puck down. Anyway, Rick Tocchet has been given a cortisone shot to his back, Sam, and he feels that he was unable to practice after he got the cortisone shot. And with a day off yesterday, practiced today, and he's hoping to play tomorrow prior to maybe having surgery at the end of the season. So Pittsburgh trying to gear up. Cortisone shot for Tocchet. He had it once earlier in his career, and it really helped. So he's hoping that he'll be able to play now. And if he gets back in the lineup, Pittsburgh will be that much better of a hockey club.
Rick told us when we were leaving Pittsburgh that he probably would have to have some disc surgery in the off-season, but hoped to be in good enough shape to be a major contributor in the playoffs for the Penguins.
Well, running out of games in the season, he wants to get back in the lineup now to get into game shape for the playoffs, which makes a lot of sense.
Whalers with a man advantage have Jocelyn Lemieux on now with Robert Petrovitsky, number 39. First time I believe I've called his name, John, in the game.
Yeah, he played well in the Olympics, Sam. Very well for Peter Stastny and the Slovakian team.
So it's Prop, Petrovitsky, and Jocelyn Lemieux with Ted Crowley and Chris Pronger with 30 seconds to go on the Hartford power play. 11:20 to go in the second period. Rangers leading 2-0 and a clear. Rangers penalty killing has not been sharp of late. They have given up power play goals in each of their last 6 games. 9 power play goals over that span.
4-game road trip, they gave up 6 power play goals and 18 times short. And that's not Ranger standards, but it goes along with how the team has played, up and down.
For the season, the Rangers are at 84.7%. Over the last 6 games, 72.7. Full strength. Amonte's shot was blocked by Pronger. Whalers are 0 for 4 on the power play. The clearing attempt by Pronger went up into the crowd.
A little frustration on the part of Tony Amonte. The Rangers with 2 good, quick drop passes. One by Gardner to Kovalov, then Kovalov to Amonte, and he tried to get the shot through, but it was blocked on the way to the net.
We talked about the Whalers' problems on the power play. 2 shots on goal on 4 power plays tonight.
Well, that's also good penalty killing by the Rangers.
McGuire sees no goals on the board for his team. Power play shots, Rangers 8, Whalers 2.
Scoring's a problem. You look to your power play, but in all sincerity, with the injury problems, that man, Pierre McGuire, only has the 1 unit. And that has Sanderson and Verbeek on it. And remember this, too, in trading all 3 defensemen, Zalapsky, Patrick, and Suter, they really don't have the quarterback back there, but they're going to have to develop that to become a good power play team.
I would imagine with maturity, it'll be Pronger.
Yeah, but there's a lot of maturing to do there to become a good power play defenseman. I mean, that's a tough job, and there's not very many real good ones in the league.
And Godinuk certainly, I think, fits in there somewhere down the road.
He's having a tough game here, having those problems with his fractured roots of the lower teeth.
That's Kuchera, number 4, with the puck. Amonte taking it away, but gave it back to Paul Ranheim. Now Ted Drury in the middle. Left wing, Jim Storm. Storm checked by Zubov. Nordstrom clears the puck. Amonte racing for it with Bob McGill there. McGill took down Amonte. Penalty upcoming on the Whalers.
Amonte's slow getting up. And the Rangers will have themselves a power play. Nordstrom having some words with someone.
And Kiprios getting involved.
The Rangers have a power play here, so it's smart to just realize what's going on. McGill not happy with the call.
10:08 to go in the second period. Earlier today, the Rangers announced that Corey Hirsch was going to Binghamton, but Corey Hirsch did not report. So Al Broadwick went to Rangers President and General Manager Neil Smith and asked him about it.
We're not taking this personally, and we're not judging Corey Hirsch as a bad person over this. We're judging him as immature over this. We're not judging Carlos Sosa, his agent, as being a bad guy over this. He's worked very well with us. We've worked well together, and we're very proud of Corey, and we want him to get his head back on straight and get to Binghamton and develop into a great NHL goalie.
And Al asked Neil, what are Corey's options? And Neil said, fishing, boating.
I'm a little surprised, quite honestly. The Rangers allowed Corey to go to the Olympics and generate what turned into a very productive season for Corey. Mike Keenan talked about how the great goaltenders that he's coached have all spent a lot of time in the minors, people like Belfour and Lindbergh and Hextall. I think Corey will be back, and Corey will be working hard. The Rangers, by the way, just hit the goalpost.
Yeah. Graves on with Messier, Gartner, Leach, and Zubov for the power play. Shot by Zubov, saved by Burke. Rebound, Gartner, it's blocked. Whalers have Gdyniuk with McCrimmon, Janssens, and Prop. Richter fires it out of the zone. Whalers send it back. 9:35 to go in the second. Rangers leading 2-0. Both goals in the first period, Larmer and Graves. Larmer's coming right at the end of a power play. Graves was a power play goal, and Messier touched the puck with a stick above the shoulder, bringing a whistle.
Another thing quite interesting that we were watching last night, Ottawa played in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles had a great game knocking Ottawa off, had 4 goals in the first period en route to a 7-0 win. During the morning skate for Los Angeles, who's had a terrible time winning, but they have a big week ahead. They have Anaheim and back-to-back games with San Jose.
Right.
And you look at the standings, you realize how important that is. But they brought in Tony Robbins, the noted, I guess, psychologist.
Yes.
He spent 2.5 hours with the team in the morning on the day of the game. They came out and they swamped Ottawa, and that shouldn't be a surprise, but we'll see how they react the rest of the week after having a very long and, from what I understand, unorthodox meeting with the very famous psychologist.
And Wayne Gretzky scored a goal to move him to within 2 of Gordie Howe. And he would have been within 1, except Tony Granato took a hooking penalty a little behind the play. Gretzky went in on goal and scored. Only the whistle had been blown.
Barry Melrose didn't get fired yet.
That's right.
Oh my!
I think he probably said, "Listen, let me try Tony Robbins and see if it works."
No, what I meant was there was a report that he was possibly going to be fired, and I hope it works out for him. He's a good guy.
Here's Larmer shooting wide. Burke was screened. Peekman skated right in front of him. Monty plays it back to Nordstrom. Gets it back. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Peekman has it. Checked there by Kuchera. Moves it to Larmer. Larmer's still with it. Kuchera on him. Now Tony Amonte. Back to the point man, Nordstrom. Larmer's got the puck. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Amonte out of the corner. Looking. Out to Kovalov, who's playing the right point. Power play is over. Rangers playing on the perimeter and not able to get a shot. Here's a deflection. Hit the post.
Oh, boy. Sean Burke,
got it?
he may have gotten his right leg there. Tough to call, tough to see. If he did, what a save that was.
Kovalov. The pass intended for Gartner. Gdyniuk has it back. Rangers now 1 for 4 on the power play. Messier keeps it in. Wrists it toward the net. It was a pass for Graves. He tipped it wide. Graves in the corner. Gets it to Messier. Back to Graves. He's checked there by Gdyniuk. Gartner's got the puck. Moving out. Shooting. Hits the side of the net. Messier's got it. Pass for Bukaboom. Score! Rangers just kept working and cutting in, and Bukaboom moves in, gets the feed from Messier to make it 3-0.
All things started when Messier knocked the puck down at the blue line to keep the puck in the zone. And when the puck was behind the net, Sam, everybody goes to Adam Graves. And when they go to Adam Graves, it leaves the lane open. Graves behind the net. Gartner gets the puck. Battles and battles. Messier's there. Graves now goes to the front. That doesn't work. Now watch everybody go to Graves. He's over there. He's got 2 men near him. So Bukaboom just moves in. He's not picked up at all. And bang. Now here's Messier keeping the puck in the zone. There. That allowed the Rangers to keep the offense going, and Hartford never really got back into their defensive mode. The Rangers hustled. We've talked all game long about how they controlled the boards in the offensive zone, and this is another example of it. Again, watch everybody see Graves and Bukaboom score.
Back to the live action. Rangers a 3-0 lead. Richter a save on Ranheim. The puck out of the zone. Bill Bourque is on now for the Rangers. It's been quite a while for him. Between games, he's missed sat out the last 13. Bukaboom gets his 7th from Messier and Gartner at 12:31. So Messier with 2 assists in the game and Gartner with 2 assists in the game. Rangers a 3-0 lead with 6:45 to go. Coulter knocked down Gdyniuk. McCrimmon sends out to Drury, and he's hit by Bork. Sent him flying with a body block.
I don't think Hartford's had one quality scoring chance in the second period that I can really remember.
Good point. They've only had 4 shots.
Angle shots. Rangers have played well offensively and defensively, and they've worked the board.
Burke was in trouble. He got back just in time for the shot by Tikkanen. He was in deep trouble in the corner. Sanderson racing down. Pass across. Chance by Kron deflected into the corner. Verbeek has the puck. Leaves it behind the net. Richter got a stick on it. Now Doug Lidster. Lidster with a nice move finds Larmer with 6 minutes to go in the second. And the Rangers holding a 3-0 lead. Larmer, Graves, and Bukaboom the goal scorers.
Seventh, is that correct?
7th.
Every time he scores, he improves upon his career high for goal scoring.
Jay Wells pressed by Sanderson. Tikkanen with Larmer and Amonte. Sean Burke out to stop it for Bob McGill. Rangers are out shooting the Whalers 25-13. Kuchera slowed down by Zubov, then he moves it, broken up by Nordstrom to Hartman. Hartman dumps it in and chases it down. Kyprios takes the pass, moves around the net, checked there by Petrovitsky. Hartman's got it, he's checked by McGill. Kyprios in the corner, Petrovitsky after him. Kyprios still with it. Now Hartman, Petrovitsky trying to play it, moves it around, and Kovalov is there. Kovalov hit by Kuchera. Kuchera bangs with Hartman. The puck up the boards. Kovalov's got it, trying to swing away from Petrovitsky, but fell down. Little tug, but no penalty there.
Again, the Rangers controlling the board, Sam, in the offensive zone.
Kovalov's pass is blocked, still in the Hartford zone. Kovalov shoots wide. Around the boards, Nordstrom. Kevin Smith is after it. Hartman has it in the corner. Petrovitsky on him. Put out in front. Zubov there. Now to Kovalov. The puck belongs to the Rangers. Kovalov moving against Kuchera, who blocks the shot. Now the Whalers get out. Brian Propp has it. Intercepted by Zubov. Back the other way. Broken up by Bob McGill.
Well, that pass worked by Zubov. The Rangers had a 3 or 4 on 1 as Hartford was trying to change.
Gartner moving on Pronger. Gartner cuts in. Pronger spins him around. Holding penalty coming up to Chris Pronger.
Absolutely. Their scoring chance taken away.
There's a break in the action. This break in the action brought to you by Midas, who asks you to stop in for an undercar inspection. It's the Midas way, the way it should be. 10:30 tonight. It's live from the play-by-play with Mike Francesa and Jennifer Smith. Mike Richter joins them along with Representative Tom Manton. Boxer Jake the Snake Rodriguez had a big win in his last fight. Kevin Bannon and author Malcolm Moran.
Can't believe how much you know about all this fighting. This fight game.
The fight game or the boxing game?
What's the difference?
We have to sit down and have a chat. Zubov.
You can't sit down.
That's right. Messier, Graves, and Gartner for the power play. Messier moving and shooting. It's blocked. Gdyniuk has it. And he clears down. Rangers are 1 for 4 on the power play. Scored 1 goal just as 1 power play was expiring. Messier with speed. Cuts in on McCrimmon. Into the corner. Gdyniuk fires it out. 3.5 minutes to go, second period. Rangers with a 3-0 lead. Following the second, Al Trotwick will have Chris Pronger as his special guest in the studio. Bob Page with an update at the MSG Sports Desk. Gartner feed for Graves. Up past him. Graves to Messier. Out to Zubov. Zubov to Leach. Leach fakes the shot. Finds Messier. Over for Graves, and it went off the skate of Gdyniuk. Out comes Robert Cron, joined by Brian Propp. Cron kills some time. And it's played back deep in the Hartford zone. McGill goes to get it. And he's able to clear it out with help from Cron. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Leach has the puck. Off the stick of Tony Amonte. Amonte, Larmer, and Tikkanen have come on. Burke out to play the puck again. Larmer stops it along the boards. Now to Kovalov, is at the right point. Nordstrom to the left point. Larmer's got it. Kovalov moving with a puck. Larmer is open. Takes the shot. It went off the stick to Teixeira into the crowd. 23 seconds to go on the power play. Steve Larmer coming up with the Rangers' first goal of the game.
Hands sore a little bit still for Steve Larmer, and I think when you go through a fracture, it'll probably bother him most of the season. Then he'll have the summer for it to get better. And you can see in this game how dependable he's been. He's been killing penalties. He's worked the boards very well. He's on the power play. Again, if Steve Larmer doesn't score, he is a player that could still contribute with his intelligence level on the ice.
Tikkanen with Larmer and Avanti. McCrimmon fires it around. I don't know if it took a little time to set in, John, but I think the Rangers look pretty fresh tonight. Maybe that day off Sunday in Florida helped. It showed up a little later. What do you think?
I think they just decided as a team to forget about all the distractions, scheduling, and suspensions, and time to go out and play with enthusiasm. And they battled right from the start here.
Saved by Richter on Verbeek. Big shot by Pat Verbeek. The power play was over. Verbeek driving one, and Richter with a good save. And we have a little get-together in front.
Oh, yeah, Sanderson and Verbeek, they provide the offense for Hartford. They do a good job. Richter was there.
Verbeek came close. 2:05 to go, second period. A look at Jeff Sanderson, who leads the Whalers with 35 goals.
He gives the puck to Verbeek, who wants the force of the shot. Richter got it with a glove and really struggled to hang on to the puck. He did a good job. No rebound, no anything. Sanderson was en route to what he thought would be a 50-goal season. But after the All-Star break, the scoring has become a little tougher for him.
Quick shot again by Verbeek. This one went wide. Sanderson won the faceoff. Oh, I think, and we've talked about this before, John, especially we noted when you were away up in Hartford, basically a one-line offensive team, and
but
teams
again,
come in and try to shut down Verbeek and Sanderson.
Absolutely. The Rangers, I don't think, have worried too much about matchups. They're just trying to play their own game against a Hartford club that's made changes, trying to get used to their system, and at the same time, with their problems with their health, they don't have four lines, but they will if they get healthy.
Mike Richter, the man carrying the load in goal. Well, Mike Hudson was talking to Mike Richter today, and Hudson said, "Who's starting tonight?" Richter said, "I am." Hudson said, "Who's finishing?" Out of our quote book, all in jest, mind you.
Team has a lot of fun. This team is a team that really has a lot of cohesion. And they're not worried about people getting close behind them in the standings. They're more worried about just getting back to playing their type of game, which they've done here.
Richter fires around the board. Sanderson has the puck. Sanderson cutting in, puts it in front. Bukaboom was there. Messier goes for it, fires it out of the zone. 1:25 to go in the second. Rangers with a goal here in the second, lead 3-0. Verbeek along the boards, Messier on him. Checked by Bukaboom, and then Leach. Now Sanderson moves in. Bukaboom staying with Verbeek. Messier, nice pass to Gartner. Comes out with Graves. Leach joins the rush. Gartner drops it. Graves has it on the Leach, off his stick and just wide. Beautiful play down the ice.
The net was knocked off the mooring, and actually it's still sitting up above the magnet. Leach couldn't quite handle the pass. It was a beautiful play all up ice. He jumps into the play. Graves with a beautiful pass across, but the puck flips off the stick blade. You see it there. He was telling me in Florida the other night against John Van Beesbrook, when he took the pass from Kovalov, went around the net, back in front, he shot. It hit the knob of the top of the handle of Van Beesbrook's stick.
That's the one you said went wide.
No, that's the one that you said he made a save on, but they won't get into that. He said the next face-off, Van Beesbrook was moving his stick up and went back and looking over and laughing at Brian Leach, telling him where the puck hit. For a goaltender, that's a lucky save to make. It really is. It had the tape at the end of the handle of the stick. You take him any way you can, though.
Can you imagine if he didn't put all that much tape on it that night? Lichter knocked down Ranheim. Drury gets shoved by Wells. Puck is frozen at the side of the net by Richter with 40.9 seconds remaining in the second period. Ted Drury played in the Olympics for the second time. coming over from Calgary.
Connecticut native. They're hoping that he'll really be inspired by that. He's had problems with a kneecap that was fractured or cracked prior to the Olympics with Calgary. Played in the Olympics, and he had another problem with the knee, but not really the same injury where the kneecap was cracked. Good player, a character guy, and another one of the younger players that Hartford's trying to acquire to make them a better team.
Gdyniuk shoots, gloved by Richter's side of the net. Now Lidster plays it ahead for Hartman. Hartman on with Kovalov and Kyprios. Burke waits for the puck, keeps it moving. Jocelyn Lemieux is there, number 23, is tied up by Kyprios. Hartman covering up nicely, breaks up the play.
Kyprios was knocked down. Kyprios behind the play was knocked down, I think, by Jocelyn Lemieux. And Terry Gregson skating around. He loves to keep the arm up in the air and skate around for 5 or 6 seconds. Then points across, and Lemieux now will be heading to the penalty box. This was a battle back behind the play. Hartman and Kyprios on to the last shift of the period. Kyprios there kicked and shoved away the stick of Lemieux, and Lemieux reacted. Kyprios threw it, Lemieux reacted, he's gone to the penalty box.
I thought Hartman made a good play covering up for Wells at the blue line as Wells stepped up. A good defensive play. Jocelyn Lemieux goes off. Rangers go on the power play. It is their 6th of the game. They're 1 for 5. 14, making 13.3 seconds remaining in the period. The official time of the penalty is 19:46. Lemieux called for roughing. Kovalov sends it down the ice. Kovalov, Kyprios, and Hartman staying on. Hartman with a hit, and he's going to get a penalty. He went into Gdyniuk, but I think he left his feet, and he's going to get called. Hartman goes off. That'll end that power play. So the third period will start even at 4 aside. Hartman will go for charging.
A couple of big hits as the period was winding down. You know, at first view of it, I wasn't sure that Hartman did leave his feet until after the hit, Sam. Kyprios with a big hit here on Kuchera, moves in and boom. Now you see Hartman go flying across, takes the body, but I just don't know if he was off his feet at the time of the hit. Maybe he's charging, I don't know. Doesn't matter, he's in the box.
That's it. Rangers got the only goal of the second. They head off with a 3-0 lead.
Rangers get the only goal of the second period and lead the Hartford Whalers by the score of 3-0. Well, the Hartford Whalers used the number 2 pick in last year's draft to pick Chris Pronger, who wears number 44 and plays defense for the Whalers. And Chris, whenever there's a high draft pick, everyone wants to know how good is he getting, how fast is he getting good. How about you? How well do you think you're rising up in terms of getting used to playing in this league?
Well, I think I'm starting to come around a bit. I think you know, I've played well at times and not well at times. You know, I think with each game comes a little more experience and you know, a little better with my partner, getting to learn each other and how we perform on the ice together. I think when you come into a new team and you don't know your partner, you definitely don't perform up to the way you do as you come together with each other. I
spoke to your coach today, Pierre McGuire, and I said, tell me about Chris. And I said, well, and he said, well, he's 19, but he's fully a man. He's worldly, he reads books, he knows about the world. How did you get that presence? I mean, when someone calls someone worldly, I mean, there's a lot implied there. How did you get to be older than your years?
Well, I think basically through reading, and you know, I've played on the under-17, which we won. It was like all Canada, and under-18 where we went to Japan and played against the U.S., Russia, and the Japanese team, and playing on the under-20 team, which is the World Junior team last year, you know, against the top countries in the world, and you know, just getting to know each other and playing against other countries, it gets to the point where you get to know different parts of the world.
Now we have an opportunity here to take a look at the way you use your 6'6" frame, and that's a memory for Steve Larmer and the hit that's coming up. As we look at this, why don't you tell me, how good do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of guy who quarterbacks a power play and builds up points that way? What is the dangling carrot that you hold for how good you want to be?
Well, I think I'd like to be a complete player. I think the best defenseman in the league right now is definitely Ray Bourque in that regard. You know, he's great with the puck. He moves the puck well, shoots the puck well. He plays the body well. You know, he skates with the puck. I think he has definitely the best all-around game. I think Brian Leach is one of the better offensive defensemen in the league. And you know, I think I want to mold my game into a two-way player who can you know, rush the puck and quarterback the power play, but kill penalties and play well defensively.
Well, the Whalers think they're building with youth, and you don't get much younger than 19. Good luck, Chris. Thanks very much. Chris Pronger of the Hartford Whalers. And Bob Page will have an update from the sports desk in a moment.
Bob Page rejoining you once again from our Sports Desk studios here at the Garden. At Montreal, the Canadiens have that 9-game overall unbeaten string on the line against Chicago. Habs are 5-0-4 in their last 9. They lead the Blackhawks 3-1 after 2 periods. Daryl Sutter and the Hawks tied 1-1 going into the second, but at 9:03, J.J. Daniel feeds Ed Ronan, who beats Ed Belfour. Not a great goal. That put the Habs ahead, and Vincent Domfus later added his 32nd of the year, a power play marker to make it 3-1. Meanwhile, Montreal officials told us moments ago over the telephone that Michel Goulet is still at the hospital. They are taking x-rays now and don't know yet how serious that injury will be. We showed you he suffered it in the opening period of tonight's game. Out of town, at Florida this evening, Calgary now trailing the Panthers 2-1. Scott Mellenby has scored on the power play, his 26th of the year, to put Florida ahead in the second period. Former Ranger Rob Zaminer has scored at 12:22 of the second. That has enabled Tampa to pull into a 3-3 tie with Edmonton, number 6 for Zaminer. They're in the second period. N2, Vancouver now winning at Toronto 3-1, and Winnipeg leading St. Louis 2-0 at the end of the opening period. Keeping up with former Rangers, remember Per Jus, the Swedish defenseman who was here most of last season, though he didn't play very much? His pro season in Sweden now over. Jus will get a tryout this week with the Philadelphia Flyers. He perhaps is best known around these parts for having one-time Devils announcer Gary Thorne refer to him over the air several times as Peter Jus. And finally, despite the fact that he's had a terrific season so far for the Whalers, scoring 35 goals, Jeff Sanderson does not expect to be honored by his hometown in the offseason. We told you about this in the pregame show. It's because Sanderson's hometown doesn't even exist anymore. He was born and raised in Pine Point, Northwest Territories, a 14-hour drive north of Edmonton. The mining town was shut down a few years ago. I'll be back in just 60 seconds. Word just in moments ago, I'm sorry to report that former San Diego Padres pitcher Eric Schau has been found dead at the age of 37 in a San Diego area drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. More tonight and every night at 11 o'clock from the MSG Sports Desk. The Rangers' third period is straight ahead.
Back at Madison Square Garden, the Rangers have a 3-0 lead on the Whalers. We'll look at second period highlights brought to you by Minolta, makers of the new Maxim 700 SI, only from the mind of Minolta. Take it away, John, with your crayon.
Let's just watch the two Ranger forwards. They're forcing the Whalers to get rid of the puck quicker than maybe they want. Graves and Gartner moving in. Now you'll see the puck go right through the middle, and there's Messier, the third forward who was high. He knocks it down. Now let's count how many times the Rangers get to the puck. Messier's already done it once. Here goes Gartner. He outworks 2 guys to get to the puck. That's twice. Graves gets to a puck. That's 3 times. Messier, 4. Back to Graves and a loose puck. Now as the puck goes back again, stop it there. There you see a little pick by Mark Messier, not allowing McCrimmon to get to the puck. That helps keep the play alive. And the Rangers continue to battle to find loose pucks. A shot towards the net, no goal. Now stop it again. Here you can see right there Lemieux, who was over in here, has just now realized that Bukaboom is going to the net. The Rangers have the puck for about the 9th time in a row in the offensive zone. There's Bukaboom. He went wide to stay away from Lemieux. Never picked him up. Great goal, great play after some hard work.
Rangers take a 3-0 lead in the third. We'll be back with all the action right after this. We're back. Take a look at the second period scoring summary brought to you by Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles. Bukaboom with his 7th off the nice pass from Messier. Gartner also assisting at 12:31. Rangers had 10 shots in the second, total 27. Whalers 8, total 17. Hessa Deakonen leads all players with 7 shots on goal. Mark Messier has 5. As for ice time, Brian Leach, the key man for the Rangers on the back line, with 10 minutes of ice time in the first period, 8:20 in the second, 18:21. How about the rookie, Matthias Norrstrom? 13 shifts and close to 13 minutes of ice time. And certainly hasn't looked out of place at all, John.
No, he said he felt much better playing with the Rangers now than he did at the start of the season when he played just 2 games. He said he was very nervous then, didn't quite know what to expect. And now he feels much more comfortable after playing 60 games in the minors. It's all part of a maturity that players have when they develop through your minor league system. And Al Hill has done a terrific job coaching these type of players in Binghamton.
Third period begins with each team down a man. Chicago has Jocelyn Lemieux in the Hartford has Jocelyn Lemieux in the penalty box for roughing. Rangers have Mike Hartman in the penalty box for charging. For team skate floor aside. Messier and Graves, Leach and Bukaboom for the Rangers. Kron and Sanderson. Gdyniuk and Kuchera for the Whalers. Messier with a puck. Try to get it to Graves. Sanderson almost gave it away. Gdyniuk outlets. And here's Jeff Sanderson. Sanderson had 46 goals last season. 35 this season. Richter the save on Gdyniuk, and he's got the puck.
Mike Richter with another save where he did not allow the rebound to get away from his body. He trapped it, I think, with his arm against his leg. Gdyniuk's a pretty good shooter. And here you'll see him try to use Brian Leach as a screen. He does so. And there's Richter trapping the puck. Richter really trying to work and not allowing rebounds to slip away. That was a good trap on the play.
His lifetime record against the Hartford Whalers.
Rangers 5th in goals against now, behind Buffalo, New Jersey, Chicago, and Florida. And so far this game, things have gone well, and that should drop some.
Puck deflects into the corner off the shot by Ted Crowley. Kovalov to the puck. Kovalov and Gartner on with Zubov and Nordstrom. Ted Drury, number 17, on with Paul Ranheim, number 14. Chris Pronger and Ted Crowley. Gartner has the puck. Gartner moves around Ranheim, moves in on Crowley around the net. Still with it, turning and shooting. It was tipped and went up into the crowd, stopping play.
And seeing Kovalov take some face-offs, his percentage, I think, is 1-1 and lost 8 in the game. It's interesting, without Hudson and without Nemchinov, that's one area that may start to show a little bit over the next 8 games. They took a lot of defensive draws for the Rangers, important draws when the games are tight. Nordstrom working with Ted Drury. If you pinch, take the body. Don't let the body go by, or you get pinched, miss the body and the puck. It's a problem. There's Drury with a sneaky play, getting a helmet off of Nordstrom. Pretty good battle.
Good shot by Kovalov off the face-off.
He's gone forward
by Burke.
He's gone forward twice with the puck. Once on a short-handed situation to get the puck completely out of the zone, and there with a good shot on goal off the draw.
Here's a chance for Drury. A save by Richter, and he's got the rebound. Ted Drury getting the shot on Mike Richter.
The second save, or what would have been a second save, was a good one by Richter. When he makes the shot goes in here and it hits Zubov, the puck kind of scrambles around. Now here's a shot by Drury. Now watch Richter have to recover, and he does. Nordstrom helps, or Kovalov makes that, helps him out by pulling his right leg and the puck towards Mike Richter's goal. Well, Hartford comes close as they start the third period strong.
Drury and Kovalov for the face-off. Won by Kovalov. Seeing a lot of ice time now, and will see a lot of ice time in the next few weeks at center. And actually, all the work that he's seen in recent games at center is
helped set up this.
Yeah. Rangers without Sergei Nemchinov for 8 games, without Mike Hudson for 10. Whalers on a brief power play. And Hartman will return right now. Team's at full strength. A little over 2 minutes gone by in the third. Rangers leading 3-0. Crowley outlet to Verbeek. Back for Steve Larmer. Back behind the net. Sanderson's got it. Verbeek shot hit the post. Pronger turns. His shot is a save by Richter, and Richter covers the rebound. The Whalers coming close. Verbeek hit the post. Now Lister and Verbeek pushing. Jay Wells steps in. 17:37 to go, third period. Rangers with a 3-goal lead. Pat Verbeek came close. He's had 4 shots on goal coming into the third. Mike Richter gave him very little room. Verbeek hit the post. Pronger got the rebound shot. Richter made the save. 21 saves in the game for Mike Richter.
With the timeout, Verbeek and Sanderson able to stay on the ice as Hartford tries to get them on the ice as much as possible. They need offense.
Bob McGill turns toward the net, went off of Tikkanen. Good play by Richter. He was going right, had to reach back to his left. And once again, gloving the puck and stopping play. Take another look.
Hartford controls the draw, and McGill has to turn his body to get the shot. In doing so, he hits Tikkanen. Good focus by Mike Richter. He didn't panic, recovered nicely, and caught the pop-up.
2.5 minutes gone by in the third. Tikkanen won the draw. Litzer's got the puck. Sanderson all over him. Litzer able to clear it. Tikkanen, Larmer, and Amonte on for the Rangers. If you joined us late, Rangers without two starting defensemen, Alexander Karpovtsev and Kevin Lowe, out injured. Jay Wells returning to the lineup tonight. Matthias Nordstrom has stayed in. Here's Larmer moving in on Kuchera. Now Amonte around the net. Burke is there. The backhander for Tikkanen, couldn't stuff it in. Larmer centers, and it was blocked. Larmer along the boards, fell down. And Sanderson sends it around the boards and out. Lidster has to go back to get it. So Doug Lidster in the lineup, getting some playing time tonight. Around the boards, Jim Storm able to get it to Todd Harkins. Harkins checked by Leach. Storm with Gardner on him. Harkins trying to move it, stays with it. Leach stays with him. Good hit by Leach. Takes him down. Puck slides across. It was another takedown and nothing called as Jansen was taken down. Messier races to the puck. Pass across for Gardner was tipped by Ted Crowley. Messier takes a hit from Todd Harkins. Harkins takes the puck. Messier slow getting up.
Very slow getting up. The hush around the arena right now. David Smith on the ice. Adam Graves wants to get at Harkins right now. Bukabu moves across. Messier still down on all fours. You see him rocking back and forth. You wonder if he's injured a knee. Tough to speculate, obviously, but a definite problem. Harkins moving across.
Like he got the knee up
there a little bit, maybe slight hyperextension of the right knee. That's an absolute guess, but you see when Messier went down, he put no weight at all on his right leg, Sam. And getting to the bench right now, again, we'll take a look at it, knee on knee. You can see it there. I don't think there was any intent to injure at all on Harkins' part, but you can see the pain that Messier felt. It also could have been above the knee where a Charlie horse type thigh bruise becomes part of it. You see Mark not wanting to go to the locker room just yet having trouble with the right leg, trying to get some weight on it now, trying to flex it, and he's hurting. You see he's trying to flex it again. I didn't see on the hit itself the knee joint go side to side where the knee gives away, the joint itself. But you can see he's having some trouble with it. Or above the knee, perhaps.
The pads at the knee, I almost think
maybe it's a Charlie horse,
horse type thing. Because Harkins seemed to go in fairly high when he raised his right leg going in there. A little over 4 minutes gone by in the third. We will keep an eye on Mark Messier's situation. Played toward the net, stopped by Richter. Well, Leach has the puck and moves it. Kovalov takes a hit, clears his own. Gardner trying to break by Gdynia. Gdynia trying to stay with him. Gardner breaks loose. Penalty's coming up to Gdynia. Kovalov has the puck.
Gardner's speed to the outside has drawn a couple of penalties. One to Pronger on the outside, this time to Gdynia on the outside, holding the call. Messier still on the bench. It might be an idea, and of course, here we are up in the broadcast booth, but it might be an idea for Mark to go to the locker room and take care of it that way. Now he's going to try and step on the ice and skate on it now. This is a good sign. Maybe he'll be out for the power play. Maybe it's not as bad as we initially thought. If it is, to start treatment on right now, on it right away, might be the smart thing to do.
No, gets back to the bench.
A little shake of the head, too. I think he may go to the locker room. Wrong again. Take a look at Mike Gardner with the outside speed. Kovalov with a real nice little pass. Gdynia trying to force the play. You can see him hold Gardner. Gardner keep going. Gardner with one hand on his stick to get loose, but held up long enough for the referee to make another call.
Gdynia for holding at 4:25. Rangers' 7th power play of the game. They're 1 for 6. Power play goal by Adam Graves. They've had 10 shots on goal on the power play this evening.
Mike
Zubov and Leach. Sorry, John.
Mike Keenan now, Sam, pardon me, talking to Messier, and I think they're just trying to figure out exactly what Mark should do, whether he should go to the locker room, get taken care of, or try and play on it.
Leach moves it around for Tikkanen. Tikkanen on with Graves, Zubov, Leach, and Gardner for the power play. Puck comes out to Graves. Long shot. Save Burke. Gartner couldn't get a shot off on the rebound. Zubov keeps the puck in. Brad McCrimmon with Chris Pronger. Shot by Graves. Save Burke again. Good saves by Sean Burke.
Three good ones. The first one was a deflection by Gartner, and then the shot by Graves and the rebound shot by Gartner.
Here comes Zubov with a puck. Moving in on Bob McGill. Around the boards, Gartner gets it to Graves. He's hit by Kuchera. Cron able to clear the zone. Robert Cron on with Brian Propp. Rangers changing. Zubov for Tony Amonte. He's held up by Propp. Kuchera tries to clear when the Whalers bench. Play stops. 49 seconds left in the power play. 14:24 to go in the third. Mark Messier is going to the locker room.
He's having trouble putting weight on the leg at all. It's really tightening up on him. You can see it in his face. And you can see as he tries to walk down the hallway, he is absolutely limping on the right side. So this is the best thing. Dr. Chester and Dr. Nissenson are here at the game, and he'll simply go to the locker room and have them examine what the problem is. If it's a bruise, get ice on it immediately to try and stop the injury from becoming a worse injury. Get it taken care of as soon as possible.
We'll try to get a report from the locker room as quickly as we can. Kovalov won the faceoff. Zubov gets it back to Kovalov. Zubov and Nordstrom on now. Kovalov winds up with a big shot. Glove saved by Burke. Beauty.
Rangers control the draw. The Whalers do a nice job allowing Sean Burke to see the shot from Alexei Kovalov. See how he's got his head up, looks down at the puck, and just rifles the shot. And it's a reflex save by Burke. He knows he's got a real rocket coming at him, but there's no one in his way. Kovalov and Burke wins that one with a catching glove.
Rangers a 3-0 lead. 14:16 to go in the third. Burke has kept the Whalers in the game.
He's played well, coming back from missing 3 games because of the flu bug. And I think Kovalov's played pretty well, Sam, in a lot of different roles in this game. He did take a couple of penalties, but with the puck, he's played a very smart game.
Here he is at the left point. Zubov at the right point. Larmer, Gartner, and Amonte up front. Now Gartner's going to take the face-off against Mark Jansen. Comes out to Zubov, went past him. One of the few that get by is Sergei Zubov. He's really good at keeping the puck in the zone. Kovalov plays it across to Zubov. He's checked there by Propp. Around the boards it goes. Kovalov keeps it in, past Larmer. Whaler is able to clear. Kovalov has it again with 15 seconds to go in the power play. Burke plays the puck, leaves it for Bob McGill. Off the stick of Amonte, kept in, hustling effort by Kovalov. Behind the net, Bob McGill. This time he clears all the way down. That'll do it. Rangers are 1 for 7 on the power play. They have 3 shots on goal on that man advantage. Rangers holding a 3-0 lead. 13:20 to go in the third as Doug Lidster carries in. Lidster in deep against McGill. Conger has the puck. Graves with Kyprios and Hartman on for the Rangers. Lidster and Wells. Pass is blocked. There's a chance in front for Storm. Steered aside by Richter. Here come the Rangers. Graves with Wells. Out goes Burke to play the puck. Up the boards and all the way down. And the Rangers pick it up. Ryan Leach is there. Rangers' next game will be Friday night against the Chicago Blackhawks and out on the road again for 5 straight road games. Starting with a Western Canadian
penalty upcoming to Hartford for Mike Richter getting run into. That was by by Paul Ranheim.
Paul Ranheim's the man who will go. Another power play coming up for the Rangers. Ranheim interferes with a goaltender. 12:28 remains in the third. Here's a rare sight. A little smile from Mike Keenan. And earlier he was concerned about his captain. Went over to talk with Mark Messier as Mark was on the bench. So now the Rangers without Nemchinov, without Hudson, 2 centers out with suspension. Might Todd Marchant be in the lineup soon?
Before the game, Mike Keenan said that Marchant was one injury away. They also have some other sentiment, you know, that playing in Binghamton. You've got Kenny Hodge. You've got Eric Mirano. You've got Daniel Lacroix, who's a rugged centerman who can play center. He's had 220 penalty minutes. So a lot of options there for the Rangers. Plus the deadline's right ahead too, Sam. Trading deadline. So we'll see what happens.
Rangers' 8th power play. They're 1 for 7. Trading deadline next Monday. See what kind of moves are made. Rangers, the word from the Rangers is that Neil Smith spends a lot of time on the phone talking to the general managers. See what's out there. 1:05 to go on the power play. Good pressure from the Whalers. Here's Verbeek in deep. Gartner moves by him. Zubov. Gartner, Kovalov, and Graves up front. Zubov still with the puck. Pass is deflected, goes wide of the net. Sanderson picks it up. And gave it away. Graves shoots wide. Sanderson had all kinds of problems. Tried to clear the puck twice. Couldn't do it and then gave it away. Richter finds Leach. Leach moves away from Sanderson. 35 seconds to go in the power play. 3-0. Rangers leading it. 11 minutes to go in the third. Here comes Phil Bourque. Getting some ice time. Taken down on the play.
Phil Bourque on the power play. It's got to be downright exciting for him.
Absolutely. Nordstrom getting it to Amonte. Now Larmer finds Bourque. In front. Just missed by Amonte. Good play. Bourque out to play the puck. Final seconds of the power play. Bourque is there to take it. And the power play is over. Rangers did not have a shot on goal. They're 1 for 8 on the power play in the game. Team's at full strength. Back pass comes out of the zone. Tikkanen with Tron on him. Nordstrom comes over to give Tikkanen some room. Good play by the rookie. Kuchera back forward as we come down to the midway point of the third period. Rangers holding a 3-0 lead. Sean Burke out to stop the puck. Rangers have not won in their last 3, only 1 win in their last 5. Wells with a shot wide. 1-3-1. The Whalers also winless in their last 3, also 1-3-1 in their last 5, but only 2 wins in their last 10. 2-6-2. The puck into the Whalers bench stops play. Al Trautwig is downstairs to tell us about Mark Messier. Al?
Well, Sam, a few minutes ago when you watched Neil Smith on the telephone, he wasn't making deals. He was hearing from Barry Watkins, Rangers PR man from down here in the locker room area. And what Barry told Neil was that Mark Messier has a thigh bruise and is out for the rest of this game. And, of course, that'll be reevaluated tomorrow. But I guess from Mark's perspective, it's not a knee, so that's good. It's a thigh bruise. Back to you.
Thanks, Al.
It's terrific, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been something rather devastating. A lot of 6 ears up there listening, huh? Did you see that? The boys were listening. But anyway, you know, that's something you worry about. Something that could have been potentially serious if it's only a thigh bruise or Charlie Horse. Terrific.
His puck behind the net. Verbeek goes forward. He's checked by Jay Wells. Petrovitsky is on with Verbeek and Kevin Smith. Koser takes it away from Verbeek. They battle. Verbeek gets it loose. Wells trying to help out. Petrovitsky is there. In front. Rick for a save. Cleared aside. Koser's got the puck and dumps it out.
Another honest effort by Pat Verbeek. You know, he's a tough dealer when it comes to contracts, and he battles. It doesn't matter who he's playing for. He'll battle him for every cent he can get. But once that's taken care of, he provides them with some pretty good effort, and he deserves the money he gets.
Burke snaps it off the boards. Kukaboom plays the puck. 8:45 to go in the third. Rangers play the Chicago Blackhawks Friday night. And on the road to Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Philadelphia before returning home to play the Dallas Stars. Here's Pop moving in. Avoids Kukaboom. Takes the shot. Saved by Richter. The rebound. Tikkanen moves it out. After that road trip, that 5-game road trip, the schedule settles down for the Rangers. No more trips out of the metropolitan area. Larmer leads Amante. Amante moves in on Ted Crowley, spinning, drops it back. Kovalov one time, and he scores! What a shot by Alexei Kovalov! And it's 4-0 Rangers.
John Burke, I think, had the puck go off his mitt, off his catching glove. Nice play by Tony Amante to set up the puck for Kovalov to step into it. There's Amante on the puck looking up. A little spinorama, a la Wayne Gretzky. It just sets the puck up. Kovalov will move in, and it's rocket time. Watch it ricochet, I believe, off the glove. Yes. And then off the goalpost. You can hear the puck bedang right off the goalpost. Great shot by Kovalov, and I think probably a goal that'll give him a little bit of confidence.
Nordstrom took that last shot. Kovalov's had a good game. Taken a couple of penalties, but he's played a good game. Braun able to clear the zone. 7:40 to go in the third. Kovalov 14 from Amante and Larmer at 12:02. So a couple of players who have had trouble putting points on the board have come through for the Rangers tonight, as Mike Keenan predicted prior to the start of the game. Tony Amante has a point. Steve Larmer has 2, a goal and an assist. Mike Gartner has 2 assists. Phil Bourque is hit, knocked down by Ted Crowley. Tikkanen has had several chances. He hasn't put any points on the board. That shot saved made. Ranheim took the shot. Good save by Mike Richter. Chance for Sanderson is blocked. Poster blocked it. That shot went wide. Gdyniuk took it. Ranheim is checked by Zubov. Braun gives it away to Phil Bourque, who lifts it clear. Larmer and Graves in the first period. Bukaboom in the second. Kovalov here in the third. Rangers with a 4-0 lead. In the final game of this 4-game season series for the Whalers, Rangers have won the first 2. Whalers won last time in Hartford. Big collision. Verbeek and Wells. An offside whistled on the play. We'll step out for a moment. 6:31 to go, third period. As Ted Drury gets up, he's okay. Rangers have a 4-goal lead. We showed you that goal by Alexei Kovalov a minute ago. Let's take another look and listen. It went off one of those bars in the net.
Very accurate shot.
Rangers with a 4-0 lead. 6:15 to go in the third. Here's a lead for Graves. Gartner heads for the net. Saved by Burke. Rebound knocked away from Graves by Kuchera. That was another fine passing play. Rangers have had a lot of good passing plays in this game. Wells tries to move the puck. Gartner's got it. Gartner to Graves. Tikkanen is taken over as the center on this line. Ted Drury clears the zone. Graves controls. 2 goals away from the magic 50 mark. Graves shots deflected by Bob McGill. Now Zubov winds up. Big shot saved by Burke. Kuchera's got the puck. Gartner sends to Graves. He's hit by McGill. Back behind the net. Jim Storm moving with the puck. And moves out of the zone. Storm holding, drops it off. Rangers try to steal it. They knock it away from Pronger. Zubov for Greg Gilbert. And an offside was whistled, stopping play. Earlier this evening, you may have heard or seen this injury to Michel Goulet of the Chicago Blackhawks in Montreal. He went down, hit his head along the boards. He suffered a bad concussion, was taken to Montreal General Hospital. We understand now he is moving all limbs. He is having difficulty speaking, but the doctors are very optimistic. Watch this.
He went down on his own.
Yeah.
No one hit him, and he went hard into the boards. And again, some trouble speaking to this point, and they were very worried about his left side. He has been able to move all the limbs, and that's certainly great news. A real class guy who's played a lot of years, and some great years as a scorer in the National Hockey League. Again, in the hospital, with things looking better, hopefully.
Bukaboom with the puck. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. As Larmer moves in, was knocked away. Amante's got the puck with some room. Amante to the net, and he couldn't get a shot off.
A
Plays it down the boards. Conger moves it. And the Whalers able to clear the zone.
Another player who's worked, well, a lot of players for the Rangers have worked hard in this game. Tony Amonte has really had a strong game with the work habits and battling for loose pucks and doing everything but scoring.
Solid bounce-back game for the Rangers. Mike Richter sends it around. He stopped all 26 Whalers shots. Jansen falls down, and Kovalov comes out with the puck. Back comes Jim Storm. Some of these names you may not recognize as the Whalers have turned over a lot.
Storm is a player that the U.S. Olympic team wanted to take to Norway for the Olympics, but he made Hartford, wanted to stay with the Whalers, and missed that Olympic experience. Here's a long shot by Zubov, and the puck into the stands. So we'll go to break. Rangers lead 4-0 with 3:52 to go in the third period.
You did so well with the throw to commercial. You want to do this Budweiser
No, not my contract.
Remember, when you're having good times with friends, use good sense and drink responsibly, please. Know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. John would have told you the same thing. Deaconin with Graves and Gartner, Zubov and Nordstrom. Rangers a 4-0 lead under 4 minutes to go.
I think we've seen everybody play center at one time or another, except for maybe Gartner. You never know.
Gartner took the face-off.
Yeah.
But he had to. Graves, Gartner. Gartner comes out with it, sets up Tinkinen, trying to slide it in front. Robert Cron. Forced back by Nordstrom. Cron still with it. Nice move toward the net, and then Nordstrom checked him from behind. Looks like a penalty coming up on Nordstrom. Yeah, hooking. Nordstrom will go. And a power play for the Hartford Whalers with 3:17 remaining.
Nordstrom quickly up the blue line, beaten by his step. And you can see how he tried to take away a scoring chance, or what could have been a scoring chance.
Ryan Leach went over to talk to the rookie. Nordstrom goes at 16:43.
This is an important 2 minutes ahead for the Rangers, as they have not allowed a goal yet. They're working on that as a team. Hartford 0 for 5, and not really too much on the power play. Their first unit, they're on the ice now, is the unit you really have to pay attention to. Pronger on the point, Verbeek and Sanderson up front along with Cron. The first minute is the important minute for the Hartford power play.
Whalers are 0 for 5 on the power play. Pass for Tikkanen, looking for a short-handed goal. And on the eve of St. Patrick's Day, we get word that a fine young Irish lad has been born to the Mullins, Brian and Linda. Linda giving birth tonight to a baby boy, Bryce Patrick Mullen. Very nice.
And I would imagine that Brian Mullen may do a little celebrating tomorrow on the Day of the Green. Might myself. Got a reason now.
Well, didn't you say that you found some Irish blood somewhere in you?
I found out a year ago I was part Irish, and that, as I said, that explains a lot of things.
1:05 to go on the Hartford power play. Zubov trying to clear. It's kept in deep by the Whalers. Richter out to play the puck away from Verbeek. In comes Kuchera. Now Robert Cron, the back pass, intercepted by Graves. It was Sanderson's pass. It was intercepted. Kovalov one-on-one with Pronger. Kovalov shoots. Burke the save. The rebound missed. Burke comes out to play the puck. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Then Drury. Checked by Kovalov. Good job by Kovalov along the boards. Ranheim looking for the puck. Drury with Kovalov on him. Back pass to Gdynia. Moving in. Spun around by Graves. Prop shot went off the body of Kovalov. Wells gets to the puck. Kept in by Ted Crowley. Around for Drury. Gdynia has to go off the stick out of the zone. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Gdynia got shoved down by Graves.
The game ending the way it started for Gdynia, who's had a real tough game after playing so well for this team. Trouble keeping the puck in, and then Graves, shove, made him pay for it.
No shots on goal on the power play. Nordstrom is back. Whalers 0 for 6 on the power play. Best penalty killing the Rangers have done in quite a while. And we come down to the final minute of the game. Rangers leading 4-0. The puck deflects over the boards into the Rangers bench. Stopping play. Again, our thanks to Ann Bear for joining us in the booth, and her husband Henry, who sits in section 208. The Bears donating $3,000 to the prevention of child abuse at the Evening with the Rangers this year, the great charity function.
Here's Godinnik having trouble keeping the puck in, and then watch the muscle of Graves. Boom. Ann was telling me, Sam, when they got married quite a number of years ago, their first purchase they got into 1 month after they were married.
Yes.
A major purchase, I might add.
Season ticket?
Rangers season ticket.
Right.
That's it.
Great seats on the blue line. We don't have to try and get seats right near those.
Yeah, by the way, are you using them Friday?
It's a tough ticket Friday. Gartner winds up with a shot. Burke to save. 39 shots on goal for the Rangers. Now, the Rangers playing for Mike Richter here. Gartner's got the puck. Hand steering. 15 seconds to go. Harkins was tripped up. Gregson lets it go. That'll do it. Mike Richter's going to get his 4th shutout of the year. It's the Rangers' 6th of the season. The Rangers have shut out the Hartford Whalers 4-0.
Good team effort by the Rangers coming off the road in which they lost 2 straight. A lot of different players in a lot of different roles, and it, I think, shows how tight this team is. Good stuff. They allow the Whalers 27 shots. They have 39 of their own. Key contributions from many players. They played the majority of the players on the bench, 6 defensemen, and nice win.
Mike Richter picks up his league-high 34th win, his 4th shutout of the season. He made 27 saves. Gets congratulations from Glenn Healy. A lot of smiles on this Rangers team tonight, and there should be. Good efforts. Alexei Kovalov had a strong game, including his 14th goal. Steve Larmer, Adam Graves, Jeff Bukubum also scored goals, and the Rangers with a solid win coming off the road to defeat the Hartford Whalers. And it's always that little extra feeling for the team when they get the shutout. The Discover Card game summary: Adam Graves picking up his 48th goal, 20th power play goal. Steve Larmer, 2 points in the game. Sergei Zubov now has an 8-game point scoring streak as he picked up an assist. Matthias Nordstrom got his first NHL point and assist. Mark Messier suffered a bruised thigh. He did have 2 assists in the game, and Mike Richter picked up the shutout, got the 2nd star, and Steve Larmer gets the #1 star of the game. Solid effort by Steve Larmer, recognized for it. He's the #1 star as the Rangers win it 4-0.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden, where the Rangers had more than enough to beat the Hartford Whalers. They worked for 60 minutes, and they come away with an important win considering how things turned for them on the road. The bad news about the suspensions to Mike Hudson and Sergei Nemchinov. And in spite of the fact that they lost Mark Messier tonight for an undetermined amount of time with a thigh bruise, the Rangers come away feeling pretty good and getting that good home-cooked feeling, and that's what coming home is supposed to do for a team. Let's go upstairs and get Sam and JD's final thoughts on tonight.
You're exactly right, Al, and the Rangers have the most home ice wins in the National Hockey League. I think the one concern now is how serious is the injury to Mark Messier.
Well, of course, you just don't know these things. Mark may not know until tomorrow morning. You'll see the leg of Harkins move right into the leg of Messier, and the knee driven into his thigh. And Mark fell down right away, and you'll see how he doesn't want to put weight on the leg. He knows right now already that it's bothered, it's injured, and the doctors and Mark have been able to already start working on it, which is certainly helpful. Now, in a game like this where they don't have Hudson, they don't have Nemchinov, they don't have Messier for part of the 3rd period, Mike Keenan was able to use different players in different roles. And to me, I think it stimulates the team sometimes when you go into a game and you've got some people out. Experiment. The Rangers are in good shape. They're going to make the playoffs. They're in good shape. Experiment. Have some fun with it. Kovalov was used in a lot of different roles. the lines were twisted around a little bit, and the players, it stimulates them in a tough time of the season.
An interesting mix on defense. I thought Rangers coming through with Doug Lidster getting some playing time. Matthias Nordstrom again continues to he blends in rather nicely. He doesn't stand out. I just think he blends in very well.
Sure. A lot of the players on this team have made sure they've kept themselves in great game shape. Doug Lidster moves right in and plays fairly well. Jay Wells comes back from being away for 3 games, plays his regular game, plays well. Nordstrom, who replaces Kevin Lowe with Zubov, and that had been a terrific pair all season long, but his game fits the Zubov, and they seem to fit very well. To me, though, when you look at this situation, just remember this wasn't a playoff team that they played against. It'll be more of a test on Friday with Chicago here.
But it's always a confidence builder, and you settle down, you do the things right that you weren't doing in the last couple of games. The penalty killing was a lot better tonight for the Rangers, and that hadn't been going well. And Mike Richter looked very steady, leaving very few rebounds and controlling the puck well.
The team effort. And Mike Keenan, in talking to him prior to the game, you know, I said, is there something wrong with the way the system is being used that you'd really like to work on to get ready down as we, go away on the road? You got a couple of games at home prior to that. He said, basically, it's emotion. We need a little more oomph to go out and play the game, be ready for games. Yeah, the schedule's a little tough, but many teams have a lot tougher schedule than that all season long. We hit a bump in the schedule once a season. Time for everybody to forget about how tough the schedule is. In fact, I had talked to some players about the schedule itself being tough, and they laughed at me, because they'd played in Chicago, they played in Vancouver and other cities, in Edmonton, and they have tough schedules all the time. So it's just time to get back to being focused, play a little emotion, and play well.
And that's what they did. You talked about Alexei Kovalov used in different roles. Take a look here. You'll see him on the power play. He's actually the point man here.
What was interesting is a number of times Brian Leach would move in. Kovalov would be the guy back. And here he is, backing up, trying to play the last man role. He moves the puck very well, has great vision, great one-on-one player. Generally, if he has to work one-on-one, he'll beat that first man. And he has good vision. He can see both sides of the ice. There's a couple of great passes over to Mark Messier. And he showed tonight the shot that he has, pretty darn good, as he scored a goal from just inside the blue line. So a good effort by Kovalov, using a new, different role, and I think that's something that satisfied not only the coaching staff, but his teammates and the entire building.
Next thing you know, he'll want to play defense next game.
Don't get carried away, Stan.
Oh, okay. We're not getting carried away. Rangers won it 4-0. Let's go back to Al Troutwig.
Okay, Sam, I'm standing by with Mike Richter. Mike, great shutout.
Thanks a lot, Al. Before we get started, I wanted to know, how's the rash on Sam?
Well, I don't know. I think it's fine, though. We'll be talking to Mike Richter, the winning goaltender in tonight's game, when we come back in our post-game coverage on MSG. Adam Graves is one closer to 50, and the Rangers beat the Whalers 4-0. The shutout for Mike Richter, 8th in his career, and he's the Delta Airlines player of the game. And he joins us, as you know by now, in our studios here. Mike, the Hartford Whalers are having a problem scoring goals, you know, so as you go into a game like this, you wonder how many times are they going to come at me? How does that affect the way you prepare?
Well, you don't want to get complacent because, like we were discussing before, one-on-one, they have some players who can put the puck in the net. I think just as a team, they don't generate a lot of scoring opportunities. And as we looked at the lineup today, it's an entirely different team than what we're used to. They added Ranheim, who has a lot of speed down the wing and can shoot the puck a ton. Cron, as you know, is a good player, and Sanderson's always quick. So they added some speed. Drury's a good hard worker, and we really weren't sure exactly what to expect. We know they're a team that looks like they're not going to make the playoffs, so we had to realize that the only way they're going to beat us probably is if we beat ourselves.
You got a bit of a break on the road trip. I know you told me moments ago you skated even on the day off, but did you feel fresh tonight?
I did, actually. I didn't feel particularly fresh when I played in Florida. We hadn't had a lot of practice before that, and I felt sluggish like the whole team did. But tonight I just started feeling a lot more energy in the afternoon, and I think it's good. Our schedule at least lightens up in the next 2 days before we go on a pretty hard road trip. So we'll make the most of it, mess with the Charlie horse, and he'll get a little bit of a rest. Brian's been playing a lot. He'll get the rest. And if you get a day off or so, then you can improve your conditioning and still be rested for the game.
We're going to see one of the saves you made tonight. It's on Pat Verbeek, and I don't know where it ranked in terms of the toughest saves you had to make, but did you make, do you think, many tough saves?
I had a couple, and that's great when you can go through a period where you're not really being tested, and then he gets a good shot there. I think he would have caught the inside of the post. He's got a darn accurate shot, but what surprised me about Pat was that he normally shoots high, and tonight he had a couple of chances and shot low, which was fine with me. I've been working on rushes in and my feet, and I think once you start getting balanced and feel like your feet are moving everything else falls into place. So I absolutely felt more comfortable tonight than I have in a few games.
Mike, with the suspensions and a couple of nagging injuries, there's a lot of adversity that the Rangers face in getting through the month of March, having accomplished so much already this season. I sensed a renewed spirit, though, because good teams respond to adversity. I sensed a lot of enthusiasm on the bench tonight.
I think so, but I mean, we looked down our lineup and we just said, geez, you know, we're missing Sergei and Hutzy, and that's difficult and a shame, but we have a good enough team to beat pretty much any team in the league if we come with the intensity that's gotten us into first place. And, you know, you can do all the preparations you want, X's and O's, and look at Hartford up and down their lineup, but if we come with our intensity, we should win the game, pure and simple, and that's what we were determined to do tonight, and we did it one way or another.
Mike, only Eddie Jockman, in terms of wins, has had a more prolific season in Rangers history. You're 3 wins away now from tying him. Is it something that's important to you?
Yeah, sure. You want to make as many marks as you can while you're playing the game. I happen to have a team that's playing very, very well in front of me. I have a coach who's given me a large opportunity to play the bulk of the game, so you want to make the most of it. After what took place last season, you don't take anything for granted. You grab every opportunity you can and play as well as you can, because you know your career's not going to last forever.
All right, Mike, congratulations on the shutout. Thanks for the visit. You'll be seeing more of Mike a little bit later on Live from the Play-by-Play. Very busy night for you.
It is, yeah.
Thank you, Mike. And we'll be back with more post-game coverage. But first, Mike will receive the American Express gift check. Think of it as a universal certificate that can be used to buy anything just about anywhere. Gift checks are available where American Express traveler's checks are sold. The post-game celebration, Mike Richter and teammates, they worked hard for 60 minutes, and they have a 4-zip shutout to show for their efforts. We are continuing our post-game recap on the Rangers' victory over the Hartford Whalers tonight. A good welcome home for this Rangers team, and we'll be following, of course, Mark Messier's situation. If we get any further update here tonight, we will pass it along to you. Right now, we'll look ahead as our evening continues on MSG. Mike Francesa and Jennifer Smith in the Play-by-Play Sports Bar.
Thank you, Al, and welcome to the Play-by-Play, folks. It wasn't Richter good tonight, Jennifer?
Excellent game.
He was superb, and Richter will join us.
That's right.
Mike Richter will come up after his 4th shutout of the season.
But wait, Mike, it's time. It is time for those NCAA legendary picks of yours. And you know what? I was really disappointed with your college bowl picks, but I hear that you can't go wrong with Mike Francesa and his NCAA picks.
Well, a little Final Four picks tonight on the eve of the tournament, on the eve of St. Patrick's Day. We'll have the bagpipers here, too. So
that's right.
A little festive occasion
also,
tonight.
Joan London will be joining us.
That's it. So we have a lot to do here at the Play-by-Play. We'll send it back to Al. He'll keep you up to date on everything that's coming up. And we're coming up in just a couple of minutes. Take it away, Al.
We'll see in a little bit while. Just a few minutes away, live from the Play-by-Play. Our post-game coverage now switches to the Bud Goal of the Game, which, of course, as you know, is brought to you by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, and natural, and proud to be your Bud.
Gardner finds Kovalov. 2-on-1 developing. Kovalov looking for Gardner. Score! Yes. Yes. Number 600 for Mike Gardner. Gdyniuk has it back. Rangers now 1 for 4 on the foul play. Messier keeps it in. Wrists it toward the net. It was a pass for Graves. He tipped it wide. Graves in the corner, gets it to Messier, back to Graves. He's checked there by Gdyniuk. Gartner's got the puck, moving out, shooting, hit the side of the net. Messier's got it. Pass for Bukaboom. Score!
Jeff Bukaboom's goal, part of a Rangers 4-0 win tonight at the Garden. Back in a moment.